It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them still blue.
Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Thank you. And yeah, a good win for us yesterday. You could say a controlled performance, a professional performance. All 3 points for us. We're still 6th second in the Premier League table. I do hope you're enjoying yourself. If you're there, I want to get how are you feeling this morning? Yeah, we have to enjoy that. And once again, let me remind you that we're still the world champions. I hope you're still celebrating. The plan is to continue to make life unbearable for rival fans. Because had we lost to PSG, you'd be coming out every day with a hat on trying to cover your face in shame. But we won. So we have to make life unbearable for them. And we still have a 3 years plus some months to go. But that's, by the way, we do not have a lot lined up to talk today, except if the show, as the show progresses, if anything new emerges, be rest assured this will be the first place, one of the first places you'd hear about it. So we'll go news hunting, but yeah, we'll probably see a lot of post-game comments maybe from the manager, players, and pundits alike. We'll have fun reading them, and then come back to the match review proper. We'll have a lot of fun doing that. But more importantly, I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. I cannot thank you guys enough for the growth that we're seeing, even though we've not been streaming constantly. We're getting closer and closer to 29K subscribers. So thank you. Right now, we're at 28K, then 313 subscribers. That's not easy. You guys rock. And we have a Marvel Republic. Good morning. Good morning to you too. I do hope you're doing well. And thank you so much for finding time to join the conversation. I cannot thank you enough. So yes, once again, welcome to the Blue Morning Show. We're back. It will be constant, and hopefully we find a solution to bring back also the news roundup show, which airs every day evenings, 4 to 5 or 4 or 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I have in the house Vincent Masista. Masitsa. Vincent Masitsa. I hope I didn't butcher your last name. Hey, brother, you good? I can't complain, brother. Again, any day above ground is a good day, and I hope you're doing well too. And thank you for asking how I'm doing. I do hope you're doing well too. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, all good, all good, all good, all good. We're good. I hope you're good too. Keep dropping the likes on the Zoom, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular morning. It was a difficult game. I get it. A lot of people probably will tell you that, yeah, with, on paper, you know, it should be, again, an easy winner for us. But the truth remains, it was never going to be easy. You don't write off your opposition like that. When you do, you're taking a huge risk. Um, Complacency can easily set in. You have to give him time. It's not. He's not been that poor actually. Yes, then we don't play in a manner that number nines will be. You could say they don't. Our number nines will be. They will not be getting tons of goals given the manager's approach. We'll play with a very very fluid approach, and I'm going to tell you this right now. You should be grateful that actually we play in that manner. And that's the reason why we're where we are today. The goals are shared um, between the departments on the pitch. We won't play in a manner where you'd say definitely our number nine will score today. They will get chances, but it's not going to be tons of chances like when you play under a manager that relies heavily on you can say on the output of a traditional number nine. We play in a very very fluid manner. So our number nines once again will not be getting tons of goals, but your comment says that at a big club, you sink or swim. I am losing patience with Liam Delap. He's been greedy, poor in good positions with Mark Gee. You could see the press connection and read him in play. Um, I don't want to start debating that with you. Delap is an excellent player, and I think because people usually don't look beyond his, you can say, the way he applies himself on the pitch, the physical aspect of that factor. They don't look beyond. They think he's not technically good enough. He is actually. He's a very very technically gifted player, but he's still very young. Needs more game. The more you can say, the more he plays, the more polished he'd become. But right now, I don't think there's any justifiable reason to start doubting him. It's not like, look, he scored one goal for us in the Club World Cup and could have actually had the opportunity to score two against PSG in the final, but you could argue to a considerable measure he just wasn't lucky on the day. Yeah. So I don't think there's reason enough. There's any justifiable reason to look at the labs Chelsea start to life as a Chelsea player and say, yeah, he's been poor. That's my opinion anyway. You have every right to think to see it otherwise, but that's you. But for me, no. I think he will come good. Um, you know, look, he's been good off the ball. Actually, more importantly, he will do a lot more. You can say not pressing aside, he will do a lot more than Mark Gee. Yeah. But Mark Gee, in terms of pressing, I don't think there's any Chelsea player that comes close to him. And we can actually still have both. So I'm not concerned. You see, the same reason I told you that we don't play in a manner that number nines will get tons of goals. They will get a considerable amount of goals by the time the season ends, but not tons. Which that's one of the main reasons why I argued Osimhen to Chelsea just doesn't make sense. Because after a season, if it doesn't measure his output doesn't measure the sort of output that led to Chelsea fans pushing for the club to sign him in the first place, they'll start questioning why we signed him and how much we paid for him in the first place. That to the average Chelsea fan, um, the manager's approach, they don't care. They just want you to deliver irrespective of how the manager approaches the game. So I think that is something I'd like you to take a step back and consider. We don't play in a manner that were always looking for the number 9 inside the box. In some cases, actually, you'd see our number 9 in a deeper position, uh, and you could say providing for his teammates. And I think he did well yesterday. He did create. I haven't looked at his numbers, but if I remember, he did create 2, 3 good chances. But we'll look at his numbers to see, not just to, you could say, give you numbers off the top of my wazoo, and then we'll later on find out that yeah, that it's not correct. But you should take a step back once again, consider the manager's approach, and yeah, see that we play in a very fluid manner, which in turn leads to our number 9s not getting tons of goals. It has to take the manager changing his approach. We start playing in a manner where every time we have the ball, the priority will almost always be to find the number 9 in the box. But that's a way that when you do that, once your number 9 is neutralized, you're done. But the way we play, if you neutralize our number 9, we still have other people that are capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. Vincent says, yes, I agree with you, brother. Yes, he is young. The way we play, but problem with him is cannot anticipate passes, doesn't know how to get past a defender without fouling them. Hmm. Maybe I need to try and see things from that perspective. But I'm not concerned. I think he will come good, especially uh, when Cole Palmer returns, because they played together. And I can assure you another reason I tell you not to get concerned is that he played under Enzo Maresca. Yeah. And he did well under him. So, and I don't see a world where Chelsea signed a check for Ipswich without Enzo Maresca saying, yeah, get him, that's my man, I can make it work. This, I mean, just calm down. Okay, he'll be all right. All right, let's go. News hunting slash post game commentaries. Let's see what Chelsea fans have to say, commentators and former footballers alike. Let's see what they have to say about the game. I think I might have to refresh this before. So yeah, if anything new emerged as we were discussing what we had on the screen, we'd see it. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. A total, we have 14 people at the moment. Only 4 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook. That equally Coachila doesn't know. But yeah, we still beg for likes because we're not a big account, but we're getting there. The likes do go a long way. The likes triggers the YouTube algorithm and it forces it to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topics we have lined up. So please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Sorry, the screen that I wanted to share with you is still blank. Okay, there you go. So let's go news hunting here. All right, Nizakin Sela here says there's no doubt Kukurea was a Chelsea star on the day against Burnley, and he is in the conversation alongside Cole Palmer and Caicedo as one of the club's very best players. I mean, this is, for me, opinion, yeah, but they are. Quality, consistency, no, good career for me. If consistency is the main factor with which we judge decide who is Chelsea's best player, then Kukurea. He's been the most consistent, him or Moises Caicedo, but that's my opinion anyway. Bali goalkeeper. We'll look at the numbers to see what the numbers tell us, but yeah, we're looking at people's opinions here. Bali goalkeeper Martin, how do you pronounce it? Dubrovka on losing to Chelsea. It's about the small margins, small details. We can go on and on in previous games where we've played well, but unfortunately we didn't get anything from the game. We've played a top side, and even against this side and against top players, we did well. I have to say there were a few moments where we might be a little bit more clinical, but we have to be brave. We have to take opportunities. We're working on it, and hopefully the point will come. Hopefully, it's not too late by the time you guys get around to becoming more efficient in front of goal. They had one clear, again, I remember they had one good opportunity where Badiashile did the Badiashile thing. Ill-timed jump, actually, and the ball landed perfectly on the chest of a Burnley player, but he ballooned it. Because our defense looks shaky. They think we're completely shit. They should be worried about what to come once we sort out our defense. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 8 likes. Let's keep it going up. And 6 people on YouTube, 17 viewers in total. 6 on YouTube, 11 shared between Facebook and X, whether equally, I do not know. So here we have Joe Cole and Rhys James. I'm gonna keep you busy with the post game comments. Hopefully, we get another person join me on the panel so you can get diversified opinions. If not, yeah, we can have fun. I like interacting with you, reading your comments more importantly. Joe Cole and Rhys James. That reads every Dylan. Okay, every Dylan I've had with him, he's quiet, calm, and assured. You can be that type of leader, and he has that. He's building this calmness. Okay, he's building this calmness. This style, he's maturing. He's figuring out his body. I think he's a different player to the one who busts onto the scenes. He's working it out. Okay. He's a credit to himself and to Chelsea. I think he's matured a lot, and for me, I think he's a much better player than he was under Thomas Tuchel. Actually, it's just that, yeah, you could argue the pace isn't quite there, but all the aspect of his game, uh, more calm, cool-headed. You don't see him make. There were. I think it was 2 seasons ago or so. There were games he made some silly mistakes. You say, but I don't want to get into that. But the truth remains, he's a much better player than he was under Thomas Tuchel, and in all aspects, he's matured. The pace for me not an issue, and the manager here, you could say, I think the fans they're starting to understand why the manager prefers to play him in the midfield, where yeah he doesn't need to. Um, a lot of energy. You say that not where he doesn't have to run that much as much. He doesn't have to run as much as he'd run if he's deployed as a fullback. So I think that has helped protect him, if to be more specific, from getting injured. But I'm happy he stayed fit longer than I can remember, and that makes me happy. Loves the club, you know. I never there was never a time I heard, again, I've seen rumors with regards to his Chelsea future that I've been concerned. My only concern has, again, always been about him staying fit. Santos is a better six than box to box, and Caicedo is a better box to box than Santos. I mean, that's Vince's opinion, and I haven't had the time to like consider both. Okay, this is a good one. Enzo Fernandez's son, probably. I don't know if Enzo meant to, you could say, replicate his son's picture. I'm not sure, but yeah. All right, what else do we have here? On this day, 4 years ago, Chelsea beat Juventus 4-0 at Stamford Bridge in the Champions League. Trevor Chalobah's goal on his Champions League debut. Rhys James's golazo. Hudson Odoi sealing the win. A Timo Werner statement. But on that day, I think Ben Chilwell got injured. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Ben Chilwell got injured on that day too. Wow, what a clearance! Yeah, but that's, by the way. Anything else here? Okay, Vince's opinion. Let's see what he has to say here. We can actually play Caicedo, Santos, Palma. right winger and Enzo together. We just need one attacking fullback and one defensive fullback. Our base shape in possession is a 3-2-4-1. In some rare cases, 3-1-5-1. Either way, Palma or Estevao at right wing, and a fullback, Gusto or James attacking. That's Vince's opinion, but let's read through it since we started reading it. Against low block, we can use Estevao outside right wing and left, okay, and let Caicedo drop into right back out of possession. Maresca did that with Lavia and Caicedo a few times last season. That's an option. We have a lot of combination. It depends on who we're playing against. The biggest issue here is that Maresca is so fixed on making Caicedo a perfect six. For some reason, he thinks it is his best position. Any six in our squad now needs to surpass Caicedo's level at six before Maresca will change his mind, and that will be extremely difficult. And when we discuss Andrey Santos being the player charged with the responsibility to shield our defensive line, screen, or maybe protect our defensive line, whatever language that works for you. I did say that I'm not sure he's capable of, you could say, measuring, you could say, fulfilling that role and measure that efficiently, just as Caicedo does. And I did say also that, yeah, that could be the reason could be because Caicedo does it so well that yeah, it's difficult for us to come to terms that yeah, Andres Santos is actually capable of fulfilling the role as effectively as Caicedo does, and it's a human thing. When you see Caicedo, he set the bar so high that it'd be difficult for us to accept, yeah, that Andres Santos is actually capable of doing that. But yesterday he proved he can. But maybe there are all the types of games we'd like to see him for. You can say deployed as six to now get a good idea whether he's capable of measuring Caicedo in terms of fulfilling that number six role effectively. But I think that's his performance against Burnley. Not bad. He was excellent actually, and he did win man of the match. But you get the point. So yeah, so that's the next paragraph here. Personally, I think Santos as six and Caicedo as box to box will be very good, just like Lavia six and Caicedo box to box. And like I explained, we can accommodate Enzo or even rest him in some games and use Palma and Estevao. Chelsea midfield is arguably the most loaded in the Premier League. I think. I think Maresca, because usually if you pay attention to the way we apply ourselves, the starting structure is usually 4-2-3-1. But once the game starts, we basically play with two tens, two players occupying the pockets right in front of the opposition box, which you can argue Maresca prefers having one of Andrey Santos or Enzo Fernandez type of player. Not necessarily a traditional 10, but he likes to mix it up one of a box to box or maybe a hybrid of 8 and 6 player than with a player that is more of a traditional 10. That's the reason we will almost always see one of Andrés Santos or maybe, Andrés Santos or Enzo Fernandez operate as one of the two tens. Yeah, but that's awesome. Enzo had a great game. What a player he is. Unfortunately for him, not a lot of player, a lot of Chelsea fans understand what he actually brings to the table. It will be hard. It will be hard. Yep, it will be okay. It will be hard for the current players in our squad to reach Caicedo level right now. I mean, they differ in some. You can say their profiles aren't exactly slightly different. For instance, you can say again it depends on one's perception. But yeah, but you're correct. It will be difficult for the current players in Ascot to reach Caicedo's level when it comes to fulfilling the six role, or to break. You can say to use a much simpler language when it comes to the role of shielding, protecting, screening at defensive line, whatever language you prefer there, you go for it. But yeah, that's like Vince is very correct there. And as Vince mentioned in that comment, in that opinion there, that it'd be difficult for anybody to do again to do well enough to convince Enzo Maresca that yeah, someone else can actually fulfill that role as effectively as Caicedo. Maybe his intent is to use Esugo, who clearly was signed as Caicedo's deputy. Maybe the only person that maybe that Maresca sees that has that aggression that you could argue what's the language I'm looking for? You can say let's just generalize everything. He's the only player that a lot of people see as the most capable of fulfilling the Caicedo role. But we haven't had the time. We haven't seen him enough on the pitch to see whether he'd reach Caicedo's level. But traditionally, yeah, he can fulfill that role. He has the the way he applies himself on the pitch. He can be physical, he can be aggressive, he's also quick, and he reads the game considerably well. And the more he plays, I think he'll mature to be able to fulfill the role as effectively as Caicedo. Um, even when Caicedo isn't on the pitch, we'd say, yeah, just pair Esugo with one of Andrey Santos, Romeo Lavia, or maybe Enzo Fernandez. So more likes, people keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go along the way, a long way. But in all honesty, Andreas Santos, he was immaculate. He was excellent yesterday. So calm on the ball. Um, he ran the show, and yeah, deservedly he won the man of the match. Yeah, but that sort of game suits us very well. uh, the way Burnley played, the way they play overall. I, you say a lot of people knew that yeah, it was never going to be that difficult as long as we take the game seriously and not take them for granted that we come out with a win. Okay, let's see. Anything else now? Any commentary? Let me see. I wanted to see if I can see anything from the manager that we can read. More likes, people. More likes. 9 likes. You can do a lot better than that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. What time, Arsenal? What time are they going to play today? I hate doing watch along, so that's why you don't see me ever doing hate watch. But that's something actually I'd like to start someday. Um, what time are they playing today? Okay. Ooh. Okay. 10 a.m. That's a few hours from now. But 8 a.m. game, Leeds United versus Aston Villa. I think, yeah, I'm not that. He's still. I want Aston Villa to lose. Wow, really? Because of what? He wasn't bad. I think he did a lot of good off the ball. Really created. I think as off the bat, I'd say he created at least 2 good chances for his teammates. He wasn't bad, honestly. I remember he's just again he's probably not match 100% match fit at the moment. But you're entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. But for me, I respectfully disagree, and the name calling, in my opinion, is unnecessary. Really, you should support him. He's a good player. He's still very young, and once again, I'm gonna keep reminding people we don't play in a manner that number nines will get tons of goals. It's a risky uh, way to what's the language I'm looking for to play because once the number nine is neutralized, you're basically done. I don't want that. That's one of the things I liked about Thomas Tuchel, and one of the things I like about um I like that's one of the things I like about Enzo Maresca. I mean, mathematically we are. Do I think we can win it? I'd say I don't think so. Let me stick with I don't think so because yeah, anything is possible. And that this is football and you cannot script football. Anything is possible, we're there. So mathematically we're in it, but given where we are in terms of our project, I think you still some stuff to iron out before I can say for certain that yeah, we're definitely in the title race, we can win it. But I can't say that now. But that's just my opinion. That's not to say that yeah, we cannot pull it off. We can. It, I remember the season that Antonio Conte joined us, nobody gave us a chance. Even us didn't give ourselves a chance, and we didn't start the season well. But you remember what happened? Yeah, and I think it'd be accurate to also argue when Thomas Tuchel joined us, nobody believed that would that would win the Champions League. You remember what happened? So this is football, but it's only logical to see things from the perspective of where we are, where the progress we've made so far, where we are in terms of the project. It'd be logical. I think it makes sense. It's a sensible argument to say we're not ready yet. We've matured probably beyond expectations, but the truth remains we're not quite there. But that's not to say that yeah we can win it. After all, the season Leicester City won it. A lot of people didn't give them a chance. So, but in my opinion, I'd go with not quite. We're not quite ready yet. Can we pull it off? Absolutely. And that is football for you. But Kopama, thank you for joining. And that's the man for Wale, aka Kopama. Thank you for joining the conversation. And I want to hear from you guys. Who was your man of the match? For me, yeah, Andrey Santos, I'd say, because yeah, defensively he was immaculate. He read the game very well, popped up in positions in our box to clear crosses from the Burnley players. Not, I think, multiple times. And that again, I think he won a lot of tackles actually, not just clearances. But don't worry, we get to looking at the numbers in a bit. I'm not just going to throw numbers at you out of my wazoo. So we'll look at the numbers to have accurate measure in terms of how many tackles of his were successful and how many times he cleared the ball from our box. Scott Parker, I did tell Dante yesterday, I'm a big fan of beautiful football. I'm a big fan of mainly keeping the ball on the carpet. Um, long balls are critical, but if you keep I like watching teams that keep the ball mainly on the carpet. But Scott Parker, I think he's one of those managers that, yeah, just have to find a way to learn how to be a bit more pragmatic to progress in his career as a manager. Then when you get a chance to become a manager of the big clubs that are equipped to help you facilitate maybe to equipped enough maybe to for you to help you show the world that you're a master of good football that can produce results. But the clubs he's coached, I think he's just forcing it. They're not properly equipped to play good football and still get results week in, week out. I think he should learn to mix it up a bit a little bit more pragmatic. I think he'd get to that level. But that's by the way, Bally Boss Scott Parker. During the first half, we were brilliant. We were playing against a quality team here in Chelsea, and at any moment, they can really hurt teams. I think you've seen that over the course of the season, but I thought we were every bit we needed to be. We were a forceful team. We showed intent about us. We were aggressive. We were brave. I mean, yeah, you guys were brave indeed, which is why you attacked. You didn't sit deep and try to hit us on a counter. But I mean, he's a son of manager. He is, so yeah. I give him credit for trying to play good football. All right. Anything else here to talk about? Once again, Andrea Santos. I think soon we'll start looking at what the numbers and see what we can learn from them. In terms of news, yeah, all about the game. But soon we're still getting a lot of a lot will start happening. Even the horse dung fake news, we still start getting a lot of them because yeah, the January transfer window is getting closer and closer. Joe Cole and Andrea Santos, if Chelsea have design on going deep into competition this season, I think they will play him enough to satisfy him now. But for me, he looks like a starter. He's again the my argument has always been, when is he going to be ready? When is he going to be? You could say it was always for me, it was always about him adapting to the way the manager likes to approach the game. I've always known he's a good player, but I knew his integration process will be gradual. Not like a lot of people that wanted him that wanted him to take the captain's armband after his return from Strasbourg. I knew it was going to take time, and it's getting there. He looks more confident than again that you could say that was his best game as a Chelsea player. Yeah, he was excellent. So looked so confident. Went in for the tackles, well calculated tackles. Hardly ever was. You could say was. He wasn't. Did he? He wasn't cautioned. I think, and his tackles, you could say, nearly immaculate. So, but good for him. I'm happy. Joe Cole off the ball. We questioned it, didn't we? We said, how would Chelsea react without Moises Caicedo today? Because of the things that he can do, blocking runs and breaking down the opposition. Santos did all those things seamlessly, actually, and he was good on the eyes. But Santos, was absolutely outstanding. Every time there was a bit of danger, he sniffed it out. Yep, yep. Even I don't need to read this. I've mentioned it already. He was just brilliant. He read the game very well, popped up in areas in our boxes to clear the opposition crosses that came into our box. Did break up opposition play, went in for tackles, and one, I'd say, from what I can remember, he won nearly all the tackles that he went in for. But let's read Joko's comment on him because that's what we're doing right now. But Santos was absolutely outstanding. Every time there was a bit of danger, he sniffed it out. Sometimes I think players have a natural ability in this area, and he seems to be one of those types of players. Chelsea have got Enzo Fernández, Romeo Lavia, Moises Caicedo, and Andrea Santos as well. We're actually packed in that area. But I'd rather see him operate as a hybrid of 8 and 6 because he's capable of getting you goals. And he's capable of orchestrating those defense splitting passes. He has that intelligence. And he's not, again, we've not seen his best yet, and he has leadership qualities too. So I really like him, and at the time when people were screaming for the manager to start him, I knew his time will eventually come. He just needs to learn how the manager likes to approach the game, and that's important. I don't know if it'd be correct to say we have a very idealistic manager, or you could say I think it'd be the better language, the better way to phrase it would be we have a very detail-oriented manager, irrespective of how good you are. If you join Chelsea and we have other players who are capable of fulfilling the role we signed you for, it will take a while for you to, you could say, to become a starter, because yeah, you need time to adapt to the way he approaches the game. I knew that was going to be the case, and I knew that eventually he'd prove, again, he will get used to the way the manager likes to approach the game, and then he'd become a regular starter. But at Chelsea, also, given the number of games we have to play, the manager will almost always rotate. And I think he's done the rotation. I think he's done that brilliantly, irrespective of what anybody thinks. Chances are, if he hadn't been rotating, would be worse off in the table than we are today, because probably would have a lot of players out injured, because yeah, he'd be, you could say, driving the bus until the wheels fall off. And Vinny here says we cannot enter title race right now, but mathematically we cannot deny we are in the title race. We still don't have great games. If we keep the consistency and win all winnable games until March, then I can talk. But now, nah. But you get my point. Mathematically, yeah, you can't deny that. It is what it is. Just the same way I was telling people last season that mathematically we're definitely in the title race. But do I, at the time, deep down believe we were? No. And I told people just the reason being where we are in terms of our project, with regards to our project. Yeah, we still do have a long way to go, irrespective of the fact that I said that, yeah, we've actually made progress beyond my expectations. And I think that'd be accurate if you ask a lot of people. We've actually done better than I expect that we'd be doing at the moment. Anything else here to address? The comment just from the game. Santos himself here. Okay, Lescott, Julian Lescott here on Santos. Not only okay, a lot more. He looks like he has a lot more to say. Okay, just one more paragraph there, and it reads: not only did he win it back, but in all the clips you've seen, okay, he keeps a possession. I think he did that really, really well. And that is so important, to not just make a tackle, make a block, and then the ball is at risk again in a 50-50 situation. Sorry about the remix there. He was keeping possession, and to have that level of understanding from someone so young is so impressive. And that is just the truth. He was excellent at controlling the tempo of the game. He didn't just pass the ball around, pass with intent, knew when to slow things down and when to progress. He was just excellent. As you would usually expect it from someone with a lot of more experience. But this guy, even again, 2 years ago, actually, we knew we had signed a gem in him. He's that good. His footballing intelligence is something. Again, I admire a lot, and I'm a sucker for intelligent players, I have to say. But that's, by the way, any other commentary from the game. Otherwise, we'll go looking at the numbers. Pedro Neto, one of the senior members of the team, speaking about Andrey Santos' performance. Pedro Neto says Andrey Santos was unbelievable. We need this type of performance when there are lots of battles. It's also good to come back from the break with a win. We are looking forward to the big games. Yeah, usually the breaks are momentum. It's been is the breaks have proven to be problematic for us in the past. But yeah, I'm glad we won convincingly too, in my opinion. All right, that's it. We're gonna go start looking at the numbers in a bit, and then we'll come back to check. Let me just refresh it now in case anything new emerged as the show progressed. Would see it. So I'm going to refresh this page before we go looking at what the numbers tell us. And I think it only makes sense that we start with Andrey Santos, since, yeah, the pundits and former players alike all say they only talk. This all seem to have talked about Andrey Santos alone, so it only makes sense that we start from him. But let's see you, if you're in the live chat session, your thoughts. Who was your man of the match and why? Let's hear you. Okay, Aaron George. I don't know what Google did. People, I, a lot of you, again, I know your nicknames, but I don't know your real names, and because, yeah, Google, they've changed something. Some of you, I don't know who is who right now. It's difficult to differentiate or even actually remember who was. But dang it, it's made it difficult for me. But that's by the way. About Aaron here says, I haven't commented after in a while, but I am glad Chelsea made my weekend. Love and respect to you all. Love and respect to you too, Mr. Aaron, and thank you for joining the conversation. After that stinker from the lab, should he start against Barca? He was good off the ball. He wasn't perfect, but he was good on the ball. And I think he probably still need one or two more games to get, you can say, to be better. I know he's not a bad player. Um, Let me just leave it at that. I think he will come good, and he wasn't actually bad in that game, but that's my opinion anyway. So let's go. Let's look at the numbers, and yeah, the agreement. We did agree to start with Andrey Santos. For me, yeah, deserved man of the match for him. For him, in my opinion, he was excellent. Liam Delap 6.4 and was again taken off 67 minutes in the game. 6.4, not a bad rating, really, in my opinion. James, 6.7, and he didn't finish the game, too. And chances are, had the lab finished the game, get an assist or maybe get a goal, he'd have a lot better rating, but he wasn't bad. But as we agreed, let's start with Andrea Santos. Let's look at his numbers and see what we can learn from them. Give me a second. I have to take a sip of my coffee before I lose my voice. And also, yeah, it's almost cold, actually. But if you haven't heard me say this before, I make a good coffee. I make good coffee. Okay, Andres Santos played 90 minutes, and yeah, he's just 21, and you know that already. Goes none, assists none, total shots one. That one that went, I think it was Pedro, yeah, that laid it on the carpet for him, but it was a miscue. I mean, I think it'd be correct to call it that. Chances created one, expected goals per 90 minutes 0.03, expected goals on target 0.00, expected assist 0.01. He didn't do a lot in the final third. That's because, yeah, he was charged with the responsibility of protecting our defensive line. So for me, that's definitely not an issue for me. But I think his numbers, as we continue, will improve in the defensive aspect of things. Defensive contribution 17. That's a high. There you go. Shots on target. Yeah, I remember that one. 0 out of 1 attempt. Touches in opposition box 0. He operated mainly again as a 6, so no surprises there. Successful dribbles. Did he attempt any? No, I don't remember him attempting any. Passes into the final third 1. Accurate long balls. He did not attempt any. I don't remember that. Dispossessed 0 times. That's important. He kept it as simple as possible, but kept things running for Chelsea. Okay, defense. That's the area that's important. Tackles 3, blocks 1, clearances 4, header clearances 1, interceptions of 5, recoveries of 4, dribbled past 0 times. So chef's keys for him. He was excellent. Got the job done. Yeah, no need to even look at the offensive aspect of things because, yeah, his job was to help shield that defensive line. And my goodness, he was excellent. He was excellent. And remember, again, another aspect of being a defensive midfielder is to know when to progress the ball and when to go back with the ball, when to go sideways, and when he did that excellently. Didn't force anything. He looked at home. His best game so far as a Chelsea player, in my opinion. And I was I was wowed. I was concerned that he wasn't going to be able to fulfill the role as effectively as Caicedo, and I did explain also that that's definitely because Caicedo has set the bar so high, and as humans, when you expect so much, a lot from your fellow human being, you're hardly ever satisfied. But boy, I am satisfied. But the kid was excellent yesterday. Aerial duels won 2 out of 3, 67%. Not bad. Was fouled twice, fouls committed 1 time. So he was excellent. So out of the bat, I did say then I don't remember him missing a tackle. Yeah. So ground duels won 5 out of 7, 71%. He was immaculate, really. Excuse me. So I'm happy. We're loaded in the midfield area. And yeah, and let's see. When you, Vinny, when you mentioned against Barcelona, he should not be even in the squad. We can actually have him on the pitch with Enzo Fernández also on the pitch and Caicedo on the pitch. We can have three of them on the pitch actually. But let's see what the manager does. And when I talked about Liam Delap, or when you mentioned Liam Delap performance, I told you I think he did well, and I did say something to the effect of him creating at least 2 chances for his teammates. Look, it's a matter of him um, developing good chemistry with his teammates. I think the absence of Cole Palmer doesn't help. Cole Palmer, who knows him very well, Delap wasn't bad. He didn't have a bad game. Again, I watched the game and I've watched it also. He didn't have a bad game, but he's not 100% match fit. That's all I can say. More likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes will go a long way. We have 14 likes. We can do a lot better than that. We still have 16 people following the show on YouTube. Yeah, that's close. 16, 14 likes, not bad. In total, we have 36 people following the show, 16 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook. Whether equally, as always, Coachila doesn't know. There's no way to tell. I have to put something on the screen to find it. So let me do something quickly here. I'll come back to you. The poll that asks the question, your man of the match, Andrey Santos, 86%. Deserved, honestly. I get it. Enzo Fernández was excellent. Pedro Neto also got a goal. But that goal was a beauty. It was a delicious service into the box from Jamie Gittens. He was also proving a lot of people wrong. He's not quite there yet. And something that I've noticed since joining Chelsea, he's making a lot more effort to create for his teammate than score, which I told people when we signed him, as he matures, he'd have a good balance of goals and assists. But since emerging onto the big stage, I think he's garnered more goals than assists because he's almost always looking to score, but he's actually a good finisher. He nearly scored a delicious goal yesterday, and the goalkeeper for that when he tried that effort, the goalkeeper was actually rooted, but he was unlucky. It was just headed to his angle, the 90th angle there, but yeah, it was close. But that would have been some goal really. But yeah, a good service into the box and a well-timed diving header by the Portuguese international in Pedro Neto, a fine finish. So yeah, a lot of people think Andrey Santos. Yeah, I agree. Enzo Fernandez was also excellent. One of my favorite Chelsea players actually, but I think Andrey Santos deserves it, and that's another way actually to encourage a young player to say well done, and that will give him a lot of confidence. It would do him a world of good, like Bobby would say. So let me just change something here quickly. We'll come back to that. Remove that. I want to do a poll. Yeah, we still do beg for likes because we're not a big account yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there closer and closer. Give me a second here. Start a poll. Please give me 1 second. I'll be back with you. One second. Yeah, that's like 5 seconds now, right? All right, let's do this. All right, let's see. There you go. We got it. Let's beg for likes and see if the numbers can go up. 14 likes, but we can do a lot better than that. So let's see. Let's continue looking at the numbers here. So Liam Delap, let's look at his numbers. He played 67 minutes. Um, Total shots two. I remember one. I don't remember the other shot. Okay, one he ballooned one. That one I actually in particular I was expecting him to try to find a teammate, but actually he can shoot quite well. Probably because he's not 100% match fit. Didn't get it right, but one was blocked, and I think that one had it not been for the good block from the Burnley players, chances are it going to the net. Expected goals 0.05. Expected goals on target 0.00, expected assist 0.04. Okay. Defensive contributions. Yeah, he did contribute defensively. Yeah. Blocked shot one. I remember that one that led to again us earning a corner kick. The one I think who laid it for him. I think it was João Pedro that laid the ball on the carpet for him. He tried. He did take the shot instinctively, but it was a good block by the good block from the Burnley player. And once again, had it not been for that good block, chances are, they could have scored. So let's see what else we have here. Dispossessed zero times. Um, Clearances one. Header clearances one. Recoveries two. So defensively, I think he did good. Dribbled past one time. Okay. Ground duels 1, 2 out of 3. Aerial duels 1, 0 out of 5 attempts. That's poor. Was fouled twice. Not a bad game, really. And that's from a player that was out for a while. And it's not been a month. Has it been up to a month he returned from that from a long time injury? So I think give him a break, really. So let's see what the numbers tell us. I did see the reason why I want to see what the numbers tell us, because I think an Arsenal X account saying that we could have, you could say, finished the first half 3 goals down. I think that's just banter anyway. But let's look at what the numbers tell us. Where is it? Where is it? Did they change the interface? Why am I not seeing? Okay, there you go, starts. Let's see what number tell us. Where is Tony Sewell here? The numbers time. Yeah, a deserved win for us. We actually outperformed our XG. So when I saw that online, even though at the time I hadn't looked at the numbers, I knew it was absolute boohoo. Yeah, see what see what the numbers are saying. Okay, possession, nothing. But again, it's a way to control the game, but it's nothing. Because I've seen us again games where we've had less of the ball. Was it last season? But we won those games, and then the ones we dominated with a lot of possession, we lost. But expected goals 1.72. So we outperformed our XG for them 0.44. So I don't know where people are saying that that we could have finished the half 3 goals down. Total shots 15 in total, 8 for them. Shots on target 5 on target for us, 2 on target for them. Big chances 2 for us, 1 for them. Big chances missed, none. They missed 1. I think I remember that one in particular. The one that Badiashile did Badiashile things. That's naturalists would say. Fouls committed 13 for them, 8 for us. Corner kicks 1 for them, 9 for us. It was a dominant win. It wasn't even close. Maybe the goals don't reflect the fact that we were the much better side. But okay. Total shots 15. I think we've said shots off target 5 off target for them. For us 3 off target for them. Shots on target 5 on target for us. 2 on target for them. Blocked shots, we blocked 5, they blocked 3. Hit the woodwork 1. Who was the person that hit the woodwork? Pedro Neto. Yeah, Pedro Neto. The ball was laid on the carpet for him. By who again? I think it was João Pedro also. Shots inside the box 10. Shots outside the box 5 for Chelsea. Tackles 16 for them, 16 for us. Interceptions 12 for us, 12 for them. Blocks 3 for us and 5 for them. clearances 19 for Chelsea and 28. That's reflective of the fact that we were on them. So the fact that they made a lot more, you can say nearly twice as much as the number of clearances that Chelsea made. Keeper saves 2-3 for theirs. Dues won, we won 52, they won 39. I think nothing important also. So let's look at individual numbers. We've looked at two players, and as I did say when Vini mentioned that the lap was Spartan, no, he was good. He was good, and I think he's not 100% match fit. Excuse me. To excuse myself to sneeze. So Gittens also a player that I'm happy that we signed that rather than Nico Williams, because here's the thing: I'm a numbers person, but I don't just pay attention to numbers alone. I pay attention to numbers and eye test because they both complement each other. Um, because if you remember, what game was it? If Tosin, some people probably are still under the influence of his, you can say, poor performances of late, didn't realize how well he did yesterday. But also at the same time, something that Vince pointed out in one of his opinion posts, that Andrey Santos was the reason why Tosin had a good game. But that's why there, you can say it's a team game. And that's why you've always had, you can say, the cliche that, yeah, defending starts from the attacking area, but to bring it down to an important area, a good defense has to have a good shield, a good protection from the midfield. When you don't have that, it allows the opposition the independence to come consistently to pressure your defensive line consistently. And yeah, and consistent pressure or persistent pressure from the opposition leads to a few mistakes in the game from your defensive line. They are humans. So yeah, I agree. Andreas Santos was one of the main reasons why Tosin had a good game. But he did what he has to do, and Tosin did the things he has to do. He did the things he had to do. Andreas Santos did what he had to do, leading to Tosin having a good game and not worry too much about, you can say, about not worry too much about dealing with persistent pressure from the opposition. So yeah, Tosin had a good game, but a lot of people, without looking at the numbers, were just going around saying he was SHIT. Even one of my bros in IB was saying, I told him, no, he actually had a good game. Irrespective of whether Andres Santos was the reason why he had a good game or not, he had a good game and was good at helping us play out from the back. Again, he's one of the best passer of the balls we have in terms of when we talk about our defenders. It is Levi Cowell, number one, passing range, Benoit Badeshile, second in that, then number three, it's him. But I wanted to look at his numbers. I want to know. I'm not sure why people are saying he had the bad game. Probably people will find it difficult. It would take some, you could say, a consistent high level performances for people to start giving him credit when he does well. And remember, in those games where people, you can say, where he had bad showings, maybe those games came immediately after he returned from again an injury, but people didn't care. They just had to slate him and didn't want to actually give him some leeways, or maybe consider the fact that he was out injured. He's a good player, one of, you can say, our most experienced defender actually. And on a good day, if you have a good shield in the midfield, just don't play in a manner that he gets exposed where he need to run to catch up with the opposition player on a counter and all that. But yeah, if we, it's you could say getting the best out of Tosin is a matter of the approach. I'm not saying again he's the best we can do. Yeah, we can do better than Tosin, but right now he's actually one of our best defenders, irrespective of how badly he's played of late. We're talking about the same Tosin that last season, in a few games, made last ditch, you could say, tackles or blocks that ensured we earned all 3 points in certain games, ensured that we didn't end up losing certain games. But football fans have a very short memory. Irrespective of how good you've been for 1,000 years, and then for 1 minute you make a mistake, that's it, you're a bad player. And that's especially true when we're talking about Chelsea players, Chelsea fans, so to speak. But that's fine. Anyway, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Tosin Adarabioyo completed the most passes in the game, 102. And the truth remains, it'd be easy to say that, yeah, most of the passes were just, you can say, safe option passes. No, Burnley pressed very well. And once again, this is not me saying that Tosin is our best player or we cannot do better than Tosin. I think we can. But I'm just telling you, he's actually currently one of our best defenders. But unfortunately for him, it takes one or a few mistakes. It takes just a few mistakes for fans to conclude that, yeah, this person is a bad player. You get it. So Tosin Adarabioyo won the most duels, 10 in total. And yet people are saying he had a bad game. Because yeah, it's difficult to look beyond his mistakes in recent games. But for me, I'm not your average football fan. I look beyond the numbers and I don't just rely by eye test alone. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Minutes played, 90 minutes. Okay, no need to look at the attacking area because, yeah, nothing there. Accurate passes, 102 out of 110, 93% pass accuracy. As I've said before, it's easy to conclude, to just go, to just say, yeah, person, yeah, those passes were all mainly, you can say, safer option passes and all that. No, once again, they weren't. Majority of them were him. You can say again, him being calm and it's under pressure because yeah, Burnley pressed very well. Yeah, but that's a small opinion anyway. You have every right to see to think again, uh, to think otherwise. All right, let's see what else we have here. This reads, okay, I think I've read that particular comment. After the stinker from the lab, I think I've read that too. And again, I disagree. He didn't have a stinker against Barcelona. We'll see. I think he might start. I think he's capable of settling the Barcelona defense. But we play with a very fluid approach. We didn't play the best. We need to improve. We weren't perfect, but it was a professional performance. We had a shaky start, but I think, yeah, we played well enough to win the game, which is important. And usually, early early starts and look early kickoffs again, and that one immediately after the international break. Two factors there to consider we had to overcome. Usually, young players struggle for in early kickoffs. Plus, we don't do well after international breaks. Two factors. That's huge. The fact that we were able to still do as well as we did, given those two factors, I think the players deserve credit. And is this Ham's Master that I know? It's been a minute, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. Um, And we have Santiago Muno, my assistant, is in the house. Big up, bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. And let me ask you all the question I've asked. Who was your man of the match and why? I think Andrey Santos, for me, deserved it. So let's continue looking at Tosin's numbers. I'm going to go back to the presentation screen. Give me 1 second here. All right. Tosin, 102 out of 110 accurate passes, 93% pass accuracy. Expected assists 0.14. That's higher than some of the players actually that were closer, that played closer to the final four. And I wanted to connect something here. how did we get one of the goals we got? He he was the person that started with a long ball to, was he long ball to, was it Gittens or who, or Kukurea? Who was the person that found Kukurea um in the opposition box, that then he controlled the ball and then laid it on the carpet for Gittens. Gittens now was able to again put in a delicious ball into the box for Pedro Neto to finish. Was it Tosin? Why didn't I pay attention to that? But that's by the way. We have okay. Defensive contributions 11. That's fine. Total touches 125. Touches in opposition box 0. Of course, yeah, he's a defender. Passes into the final third 6. 6. Even though, yeah, a centre back. And you can argue that's one of the main reasons why Maresca likes him. Because, yeah, he's capable of, again, he's a good passer of the ball. Yeah. Accurate long ball, 7 out of 9. That's actually excellent, in my opinion. 78%. Let's see. Defense tackles 6, blocks 1, clearances 4 in total, headed clearances 2, anything else. So he had a good game. Ground duels 1, 6 out of 6, 100%. So where is IB? Where are you? IB, I want you to come outside. Downward zona. Inakake, come here. You told me on X that he had a bad game. And I think people are still on the, you can say, influence of his recent bad showings or bad performances and not giving him credit given how well he did. I get it and I agree. Andrey Santos was pivotal to how well Tosin did in that game, but Andres Santos played his own role and didn't play Tosin's role, and that's why they're a team. Play your part, I play my part, and our, you can say you can say our performances, you can say our parts, our respective parts, well executed, will lead to us getting a good result. So yeah, I agree. Once again, I'm gonna repeat myself there. Andres Santos was pivotal to how well Tosin did because he protected the defensive line very well, read the game very well, popped up in places in our box to collect crosses from the opposition, but he didn't play Tosin's part. Tosin played his part. So give Tosin credit. He actually, numbers show that he had a solid performance. But yeah, the football fans, average football fan, has a very short memory because yeah, he or maybe again they're still not able, you can say, to move beyond his recent bad showings. And as I've said before, it would take a lot of consistent good performances for people to start saying, yeah, he's good. I'm not saying he's the best we can do, but it's always nice to give credit when again where one is due. Tosin had a good game. He had a solid game yesterday. Wasn't poor. A lot of people were just saying some nonsense because yeah, already they want him gone. Okay, let's start from the goalkeeper. Let's look at numbers from each player on the pitch. And the lab, you could say he's the least rated player here with 6.4 rating, and was subbed off again in the 67th minute. And listen, I'd argue that had he finished the game, chances are he'd finish the game with a better rating. But he wasn't as bad as a lot of people are making it out to be. And remember, for a player that just recovered from injury, and yeah, come on, he's not 100% match fit, and that's my opinion anyway. More likes, people, more likes. 18 likes. You can do a lot better than that. Jay, add your like to it so we can count that. Uh, yo, I'm saying hello to you, and we have Jay. Big up, coach. Have I ever mentioned that Tottenham is my second favorite team? I see what you did there. My second favorite team, at least for today. I don't like doing watch alongs. I would have loved to do a hit along, maybe a hit watch show, but yeah, interesting one. Thomas Frank. I hope he can be as pragmatic as possible today. He can actually get a win. They can actually get a win today. The game comes on in about 4.5 hours or so. Ooh, yeah. So let me see a draw. Hmm. Okay, 55 for people again who already we can say participated in the poll. Said Arsenal will win. 22% believes he ends in a draw, and 23% believes Tottenham will win. Um, but Arsenal, okay, in 5 games they scored two here, 5, 7, 9, 1. Arsenal have averaged, yeah, I think it'd be correct around. I think it'd be correct around 2 goals per game. And Tottenham, ooh, 2 goals per game too. That's a high chance, around 2 goals per game, or 1.89 or 9 or 1.9. There's a chance actually this game ends in a draw. There's a chance he ends in a draw. Hmm. All right, let's see. Let's see how that one ends. So, but I'm rooting for them today. Um, Aaron Judge, thank you for joining mine too. Let's go. Let's go, Spazzy. Get a win today. Yeah, my second favorite team today too. You gotta like that, right? So let's see. Let's look at the numbers here for Robert Sanchez. He played 90 minutes, saves, made 2 saves. Um, okay, shots faced 0.11, not a lot. Goals prevented 0.11. I mean, he wasn't tested that much really, but nearly. Okay, made made some a serious mistake that could have led to us conceding the goal. Actually, 21 people following the show, and we're still stuck on the 18 likes. We can do a lot better than that. 51 people following the show in total. 23 on YouTube, the rest shared between X and Facebook. If you're following the show on X or maybe Facebook, kindly do us a favor. Take a second, drop a like on the video, whether on X or Facebook, and follow our X or Facebook account. We'd really appreciate that. Acted as a sweeper one time, high claim one. These guys didn't put a lot of balls in the air. If they did, I think Sanchez would have a lot more high claims here because he's improved in that aspect. He's actually one of the, you could say, reasons why we've improved in terms of dealing with set piece. Saves inside the box 1, recoveries 14, fantasy point. Okay, we don't need that. Touches 48 in total. But dang it, there was one that I nearly passed out on my couch. That one, that, yeah, you could argue. I wouldn't say he got lucky. Again, he was confident enough to not panic, but it looked as if the Burnley player was really close to. You could say kicking the ball into our net, but man, as risky as that was, and as scared as I was, we were able. I think it was 6 passes in total. That was how quick. Yeah, 6 passes in the total, 6 touches in total, and the sixth touch was Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez kicking the ball into the net. It was Robert Sanchez, calmly finding Malo Gusto, and Gusto. Who did Gusto find? Gusto found Pedro Neto. That's 4. Neto drifted inwards and laid the ball on the carpet for Mark Gee. Gee now touched it. Okay, that's the 5th touch, and dragged the volley defender, bullied him practically, and wasn't selfish. I give him credit there. And yeah, laid it on the carpet for Enzo Fernandez to finish. But that's by the way. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Yeah, they can win today. The only slight issue is um, the last one at Emirates 15 got them years ago. It can happen. Records are meant to be broken, and if anybody can pull off such result, maybe even a draw will be all right. A draw means they drop 2 points. But that game looks like you can say their goals per game ratio. Yeah, for me, chances of it again, it could end in a draw. It could actually end in a draw. But that's by the way, I have the captain of the community in the house in Constantine Dante. But Dante, it looks like you're at 7-Eleven because your connection is coming and going. Where are you, McDonald's?
Yeah. Big up, coach.
We got, I can
KFC
barely
tonight. I'm
hear you.
KFC. Can you hear me?
Maybe maybe I need to, but my volume is at 20%. You said that's a lot.
Maximum.
No, I can't go maximum. I don't want
No.
to. Yeah, but that's by the way, Dante. Your overall again thoughts on the game. Your man of the match. I mean, those two questions. Let's start from there, and I hope you're doing well. Okay, Dante has been disconnected. As I said, it looks like I could see from here that you don't have a stable internet connection right now because I am able to see your signal. But your thoughts? Who was your man of the match, and a deserved win? Do you think we were lucky? I think numbers say, yeah, it was a deserved win for us. But let's hear your thoughts on the game. All right, Dante,
Yeah, is
your
it working, coach?
connection
Can you hear me?
isn't really helping. But go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. Big up to everyone as well in the chat. Yeah. Like I said before the pre-show that we made the game, I said it's probably going to be they're going to attack us from the start, probably the first 20 minutes. They did. They it was very good. They did a great job. Shalaba, a couple of good saves. Tosin, very good. Andrey Santos was good. I think all the defenders played pretty well. So we held that up. After that, yeah, from there it was only going to get better. So, got the goal before halftime. Great goal. And then second half, I knew we're going to be much better. We're always much better second half, the early kickoffs. So I knew that second half, we pretty much dominated them that second half, to be honest. And obviously scored the other goal late on. But yeah, all in all, a deserved win in the end. Slow start, but expected. And yeah, very good. Man of the match, definitely Santos. I remember I said I've seen him play twice in the rain, and I've probably his two best games I've seen him play. So again, he proved it again that he's very good in the wet again. And yes, I think we have to give him a new nickname, coach. You know that nickname, don't you?
You could say something else also to not take for granted is the fact that we had to overcome two of our nemesis, maybe, or two factors that have always proven to be serious, proven to be problematic for us. The fact that the game was immediately after an international break and also an early kickoff. So
Yes.
two factors there that we did overcome efficiently, actually, in my opinion, because we outperformed our XG. But go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Always slow starts, and yeah, especially away, cold, wet. Luckily, the rain stopped, so it wasn't that bad in the end. It was actually not bad. So it looks like the pitch held up pretty well. So that was good. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, we can probably, the more the game goes on, the better we'll get. It'll drain even more. So yeah, look, very good performance considering the factors and considering, Andrey Santos started in that position as well. He hasn't really played quite there. He played more the 8, the center midfield that goes forward, not really the one that just sits. So he did a great job. I think, everyone did a pretty, especially that second half. Well, we dominated them that second half. They had like one chance and that's it. We absolutely dominated in the second half. Shame we couldn't score another goal maybe, but it took a bit longer to score that second goal. But in the end, the substitutions were spot on as well, and that helped us. And we got the win, 2 points, clean sheet away, 3 points off Arsenal to play them next week. Hopefully they drop points tonight. We're in a very good position.
Was it, you could say, to you, were you concerned when it was just one goal and it stayed like that for a while before the second goal came?
No, I wasn't, because, like I said, second half we're always going to make just a couple little adjustments, and Maresca did that definitely. You saw when Badiashile came on as well, so he made that adjustment pretty much straight away. Then changed it again 15 minutes in, the next sub, and then changed it again right at the end. So, like I said, second half, if you look at the stats, we completely dominated them in that second half. Possession, chances, shots on target, just everything basically. We dominated them pretty much that second half. So, yeah, no, second half. The first half, I was worried. Yeah, that first 20 minutes, I told you they're going to come at us that first 20 minutes. And that's exactly what they did. They played very well. They came at us pretty hard the first 20 minutes. And we held on, though, and we defended very well, which was a good test. And it was good to see that, we were playing well defensively. So after that, I wasn't worried. No, I knew we'd go on to win the game. At worst, maybe draw, but just if we're not lucky. But yeah, no, I thought that second half will definitely go on to win the game.
I don't know if you answered that question and I missed it. Who was your man of the match?
Yeah, I did. Andrey Santos, definitely, yes.
Yeah, I think he was excellent. He was able to, he read the game very well. More importantly, and I agree, he was one of the main reasons why Tosin had a very good game. He knew when to progress the ball and when to slow it down a bit, because that can make a whole lot of difference. Usually, and he's a very intelligent player, more importantly.
Well, he knows what the manager wants. The manager wants him.
Yeah, exactly. He's learned what the manager wants. He can go ahead. What you were saying?
Yeah, he wants him to keep the ball, scan the field, and look for runners and draw the opposition out, basically. So if there's no option, then you go left, right. If there's a great option, like we saw many times, go through the center, through the channels. So a couple of good long balls, a couple of good to the lap as well, where he turned his man, got away, and we probably should have done a little bit better after. But yes, that's Tosin brings. He's got the height, obviously, so he can see over the players, so he can see quite further than more players as well. And yeah, Maresca likes that, especially on, like I said, it was a wet pitch. His experience showed. He won everything in the air, and his passes, because his passes are
he
so
won
spot
all
on,
his grand rules.
All his ground rules, and his passes are very crisp and hard when he does pass them, and that's what you need on that type of weather. So yes, he played very well. Even Chalobah played actually very well as well. So like I said, all our defenders, Badiashile came on and played well, except one instance, but the rest was very good. That's it. So
and may I ask you, I'm sure he tagged you too. IB, he tags us a lot every time he starts a campaign. He's saying he doesn't have the bad game, and I told him I don't think so.
No, he didn't have a bad game. Like, what did Burnley create? Everything that came in the box in the air, he cleared away. Positional wise, he was where he was supposed to be, directing everyone, keeping the line as well. No, it's probably because Burnley were on the front foot, which I knew they were that first 20 minutes. They're going to be, so probably looked that way. But we blocked everything and couldn't get shots on target. He blocked one or two. I think one. Chalobah blocked a couple. Santos a couple. But as a unit, they worked really well together. They stayed compact, and they couldn't get through us. To be honest, they didn't really create anything. Like, I think one big chance. I can't remember how many. One big chance maybe. So yeah, look, he was very good. I think he was very good. Him and Chalobah were both very good. The first time they've probably been very good together as a pair.
Yeah. All right. Big up, Chimera. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. He says here, time Gittens to start learning Chinese. Okay. You don't. I'm gonna block you. You and your agenda. He says here, are we winning the league? No. I said no too, but it's my opinion. Can we pull it off? Possibly. Are we in the title race? Mathematically, yes. Do I really think we are? I'd say no, given where you can say where we are from the perspective of the project itself. But the truth remains, winning again, we won two trophies last season, and the manner at which we won them when anybody didn't give us a chance, don't rule Chelsea out. And football is a game you cannot script. Anything can happen.
Let
If
me
you
put it this way,
remember,
Coach. Do you
I've
think we
said
have
this
more
already.
chance this season or last season?
Sorry?
Do you think we have higher chances this season over last season?
We do have higher chances this season
Yep.
because this season we're proven, even without Copama, we still do well. With him, we're even better. So we have higher chance this season than last season, irrespective of, again, at certain point, people did the calculations and, yeah, discussed how we had the same point at that time that we had last season after an equal amount of games played. But we have more chance this season, in my opinion. But do I think we can pull it off? I'd say no. Is it a possibility? You're damn right. It is. You bet it is. But your thoughts, Dante?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, pretty much the same. A lot will depend as well next week what happens with Arsenal. If we beat Arsenal, well, then I think you can say we're even a bit more than definitely.
That
If
changes
they
a
drop
lot.
one,
Mentality
yeah.
wise
So
and everything, it will change a lot.
yeah. Look, we don't quite have the squad right yet to actually say we're 100% in it and we're going to probably be top two and win it. Yeah, like he says, they're top four, 100% top four. I don't see no reason why we don't finish in that top four. That's easily, I think we should be able to get that, no problem. And not a bad run in the Champions League as well. So a couple of the cups probably do okay in the cups as well. So maybe the FA Cup. But yeah, look, not quite ready. I think next season is the season for that. I think that's when we can expect to build a little bit more, but you never rule it out. There's not all the teams are struggling, bar Arsenal, and they had a pretty struggling patch as well. So they'll probably have one again. So you can never rule it out. Like again, like last season, a little bit. We'll see in December,
You could
January period.
argue that 2-2 draw against Sunderland, Arsenal 2-2 draw against Sunderland showed a lot about them. They're not all that what people are making them to be.
No, they're not all that. They're only
They're
up
not.
that high because other teams have struggled.
Yeah.
Yes. So no, they're not all that. Definitely not. No.
And this is still a long season, really.
Very long. Yeah.
Yeah. Jay here says finally, Maresca played Santos as a 6 boy, back the man of the match, as Vince mentioned, Caicedo as a box to box, and Santos as 6 will work beautifully. And also, Caicedo can rest. Let me see that. And also Caicedo can rest more. But here's the thing. I'd rather the other way. For some reason, I'm not sure why I can't quite. I agree it will work because yeah, he's proven that he's capable of protecting our defensive line. But I think in terms of shielding our defensive line, nobody does it as effectively as Caicedo. Maybe because yeah, and you could say I believe Andrey Santos needs to show more. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I love him. I've always loved him. I've always known that it's only a matter of time that he just needs to adapt to the way the manager likes to approach the game. I read that opinion too. We had it on the screen here. Vince's opinion here. It won't be bad having both on the pitch. Both can actually switch places. It depends on, you can say, the ball, where the ball comes from dictates where either of the two players will be at any given time. I think Maresca actually prefers it like that. I don't think if he has, again, if we see both on the pitch, then I think definitely what will happen is that, yeah, it just depends what the area from which the ball comes dictates where one of the two players will be on the pitch at any given time. That's what we'd see. But I'd rather Santos get closer to the to the final third than Caicedo. In my opinion, I think he has. For me, that's just my opinion anyway. Maybe I need to see more to you say to be certain about that. I think closer to the final third, I think Andrey Santos has a lot more in terms of creating for his teammates. That's just my opinion. I don't know what you think, Dante.
Yeah, look, let's not get carried away. It's one game, so yes, let's just, and like I said, he's probably two best games I saw him play was in the wet, so I was very confident he's going to have a very good game if it's wet weather, because I've seen him play the way he does. So, and he played the same position exactly. So, look, he can do the job. 100% he can do the job, but yeah, after one game, we still need to see a little bit more at the opposition. But he can definitely play in that position if Caicedo needs a rest and Sugo is not available. Lavia is not available, etc. Yeah, of course he can play there. It just gives the manager more reason to trust him. So yeah, look, they can all play together, no problem. But I would prefer definitely Caicedo in that DM sitting back role. Caicedo, he does that at a world class level. You don't need to put him as a box to box. You're going to be doubling how much, not doubling, sorry. You're going to make probably a 10-15% rise in how much he runs as well by putting him center midfield box to box as well. So I don't think that would suit him that well. But against certain opposition, maybe you can, but I still prefer Enzo Fernández to be on that field. So as we saw yesterday, he popped up, great, good goal, crushed the box, and he did that numerous times. They just didn't pick him out yesterday, but he did that quite a few times. So he did it again right at the end, right when he's been running the most, and he did it very well at the end as well. I still prefer him in that position because he's already done it.
He's so unique too. We don't have nobody similar to him.
No, and Caicedo, like I said, you're putting way more extra workload on Caicedo's shoulders. I don't think that is necessary, to be honest. I think the reason he can play more and that he's sitting in that role, he doesn't have to worry about going forward. So you're putting more in his mind. He has to do more. He has to add assists. He has to add goals, and he has to add a lot more creativity to his game. And I think it's better for him. He doesn't need all that extra baggage. He doesn't need that because that could, things like that can put a player off a little bit because he has to think too much and do much more. So no, Caicedo definitely to stay back, and Enzo still that guy, definitely. Santos rotation for now, but hey, if he keeps putting performances like that in, well, of course, it gives the coach a headache, and it put pressure on the other players to perform even better. If they're not performing, well, he gets the start. Simple as that. So that's how it works. But it's a bit too early yet to say that.
Yeah. There's still a long way to go. Hello to you too, Razi Murray. Is it Muri? Sorry if I butchered your last name, but nice to see you. Wira is in the house. Wira, nice to see you. Wira here says this win means something only if you build on that winning feeling. The 4 games after Arsenal and Barca, 1 win in them 4 games, and Maresca would have made 0 progress. Okay. Again, you're entitled to how you want to see things. I'm not concerned about the Arsenal game. Again, let me just stick with, we'll cross that bridge once we get there. And Rack says that Maresca is so much underappreciated for his management skill. I agree. He's not perfect. I've had questions in the past, but in terms of his man management, I think he's good at it. Sometimes he can get angry and lose his shit and say some stuff publicly that he shouldn't say, in my opinion. I think, we Chelsea fans don't appreciate him enough. And I'm one of those that believe we're actually lucky to have him. And the club, they know that. I think they're going to give him time, help him sign even better players in the future. He's a bit versatile as well. can cover Caicedo and Enzo. He can cover both. Yeah, he's actually very versatile. He can fulfill the sixth role. The question now is whether he'll be able to fulfill it as effectively as Caicedo does. I don't think so at the moment. I think their approach is actually different. Their approach is different. As a replacement, as of now, but I think the manager will use him more in the Enzo Fernandez position. I think but it depends on the game. Santos is ready to start our cup games, keep Enzo to strictly Premier League and UEFA Champions League. I think we're going to see a lot of rotation. And again, it depends on the opposition. It can. It's important. In some games, even the manager will just decide to rest one player if he feels like we can do without that particular player in a particular game. You want to see more from Santos, but Maresca never rewards his promising performances, which starts in following games. Um, Listen, I don't. Maresca rewards performances, but I think you're going by, you can say, his selection pattern at a period where he had no option than to rotate the team. You can say that's no different from people arguing that Esther William should be starting every game, whereas the manager had to rotate the team. We we don't want to risk a lot. And in Esteva's case, he's the closest to Cole Palmer that if he gets injured, yeah, I'm not going to say would be in a lot of trouble, but I think that will compound our issues right now. Santos and Caicedo in the pivot doesn't enable Santos to be the box to box. What am I hearing? I'm not sure. You don't have to agree. I'm not sure. Did you say anything to that effect, Dante?
No, he can. I just said he can't do it at the level Enzo Fernandez can do it at the
They
moment.
just cannot. They're not the same.
Not the
They're
same player.
different.
No. Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez has better vision, in my opinion.
Yeah, and
But let's see. Go ahead.
endurance as well. Yeah.
Let's see. Understandable, as we haven't really seen Caicedo as an eight often, and yes, this plan does include Enzo as the forward. You can say I'm one of the two tens when we play with two tens. But I'm going to say this again. I'd rather Andrey Santos play closer to the box than Caicedo, and that is just my opinion. Maybe I need to take a step back and compare how they apply themselves on the pitch and their, you can say, output in certain positions to have accurate conclusion with regards to how they apply themselves. But I think Andres Santos has a lot more in terms of creating for his teammates in the final third than 1 second, Nante, I'll be back.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So this plus does not include Enzo. Does include Enzo. Yeah, we haven't really seen anything too much like that, to be honest. And Palmer will be back, so yeah, you won't really see that. Um, Look, it can happen. Again, it depends on opposition, who we're playing, etc. I think you know this. I think we all know this. I think Enzo Fernandez is still number one. He's still the starting guy in that position. And Moises Caicedo is the other guy, the defensive midfield, starting defensive midfield. Basically, it's, two world class players. They're still ahead of Santos. But for rotation, yeah, he can rotate. He can play sometimes, depending on opposition, yeah, with Fernandez, sometimes with Caicedo. But I wouldn't push Caicedo as that CM box to box because that requires, I think, too much from him. And when I think he has more of a bit more simple game, and I like to see that's why he's shown us world class. He's world class in that DM position. You don't want it. You don't change that. He's too good in that position. You don't change that, definitely.
Yeah. Let me see. And I don't think the manager will change it either. We're here saying Arsenal showed in the 2-2 draw against Sunderland. They're not all that. We cannot forget we're no different. I never said we're different. Remember, I already said, do I think you can win the league? In my opinion, I said, no, I don't think we're ready to win the league. But at the same time, I also said, don't count it out. this is football. We cannot forget we're no different. Yeah. Our results against Brighton and Brentford teams, they are. So we're saying the same thing. So I didn't say we're different. I didn't say we're perfect than them. Maresca's man management skill is praised. What you mean, taking off James for body and not Achampong is applaudable again managing. Here's the thing. It depends on who you ask. Why did he take off James? That was part of the plan. Why didn't Achampong come on? Do you know why? I'm guessing the answer is definitely no. You don't know why he didn't come on. Do I know why? I don't know. And I'm gonna go ahead and say something I've said a thousand times. I've seen things that show me that Maresca loves Achampong. He likes him. He's actually said it himself. He's played them in high-profile games. I think around 2 high-profile games, 2 of which you could argue on occasions where he had more experience, and you could argue, let's just stick with experience. More experienced players on the pitch that could have, you can say, done better than him, maybe, but he didn't. He likes the kid. So, and we've had this conversation a thousand times. There was a period when we didn't see much of Achampong, and people were questioning the manager's selection process, why he isn't giving Achampong a chance. It turns out the kid was out sick and had trained just one time before the next game. That Maresca eventually introduced him towards the end of the game, and he was the reason why we considered one goal. One of the goals we considered on the day. I'm not finger pointing. I'm just saying, we don't know why. We just don't know. So just let the man. Yeah, I still say he's a good man manager in my opinion. You have every right to disagree, and that's your opinion. You're entitled to yours. I'm entitled to mine. I don't work for the club. I'm not part of the coaching staff. I don't know why Achampong wasn't the one that started. Yeah. Okay, Caicedo can play that advanced Kante role. Why not? All right, Dante. Let's talk about this. Vincent was in the chat. He did say that not Vince, but another Vincent, not Vince on X. He said that the lap was crap. He had a stinker. I think two or three people in the chat have said that, but I disagree. He's still not 100% match fit. I think the injury he had didn't help. And remember, he did well for us in the Club World Cup. Scored a goal, could have scored 2 against PSG in the final, but definitely was unlucky for me because he did everything right. It's just that the ball didn't for him on the day didn't just on 2 occasions didn't go into the back of the net. What do you make of his performance yesterday? I think he did well, and we looked at the numbers. It turns out he did well defensively, actually.
Yeah, defensively he did well. Look, the only he probably rushed a couple of occasions when he should have, well, let me put it this way. If that was Nicholas Jackson, we would have said he should be shooting, stop passing the ball. So Delap did shoot in those occasions as a striker would, but probably he could have passed because they had a couple of options. So to me, it's just he was just trying a bit too hard. But you can see the qualities there. He can turn his man. He turned his man twice really well. On other occasions, maybe that could have led to a goal, or him just that final decision making where he shot it twice, and then once he made
one was a good block.
Yeah, one was a good block as well. So, yeah, look, he did some good things, but of course, he didn't play that well. But he did some really nice things. But people forget he's been out. Yes, this was his start. It was wet, especially the start of the game was very wet. So it's not easy to play the way he plays, strike the ball first time, play quickly, basically. And that's why I probably criticize. He probably didn't take his time. He was a bit too rushed and he didn't take a little bit more time. And yeah, I think he was just trying a bit too hard to.
And
To
wouldn't
try
it
to
be
get a
correct to
goal
say that he's rusty? Still rusty, kind
Yeah,
of.
and that's part of rustiness and trying to that's what it is. When you try too hard and do that, you're a bit rusty and you're off your game a bit because you're trying too hard when you shouldn't be. So I think that's what he was doing 100%. He was just trying a bit too hard and he just needed to calm down a bit and look for options. But like I said, that example with Jackson, when he could have passed the ball, but we always said, Jackson, why don't you shoot first time? Don't worry about passing the ball. You're a striker. Well, that's what he did in this game. He shot the ball first time, but probably a little bit rushed. But he have that striker's instinct where he's going to shoot that first time instead of passing. We were all asking for that last, with Jackson,
Yeah,
but
Jackson
now
doesn't shoot instinctively. Yeah.
exactly. So, Delap did that yesterday, but it just wasn't good. It wasn't a good, like I said, he rushed those shots a bit too much. But that's a striker's instinct. And I actually thought that second half, because we're going to play much better, we'll probably dominate that second half. And we pretty much did. I thought I was talking to Tebeg on his channel. I thought he might actually score a goal that second half because they're going to open up and he's going to have more chances. But he went off early. Obviously, he's still under a minute restriction, so he went off early. So look, he didn't have a good game, but he didn't have a bad game. Like I said, you got to take out the circumstances into consideration. So yeah, just a little bit rushed, a little bit trying to do too much, but the instincts are there that a striker needs. He was strong defensively, he did well. Winning challenges, duels, headers. He turned his player twice really nicely when he got away from them. So look, it's all there. It's just got to come together a bit better. So it's a bit too early to judge anything. I don't like people when they after a game or two player comes back from injury or something. Oh my god, he's the worst. Send him to China. Come on, give the guy a break. He needs a run of games, and he will do just fine when he plays a little bit more. I have no doubt about that.
In our current squad, I don't think there's any player that I'd look at right now and say that signing was a mistake. And I know bad signings when I see one, and you should have be the first to start screaming that player at Chelsea not gonna work. You
Yeah, maybe there
understand?
was one that I said, maybe one that I thought might not do too well. You know who that is probably.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, the last decision making sometimes make me mad. I mean, I think he's good. He will be all right. Santos plays best as a box to box winner if there's a kind of type of player being that destroyer. And for Brazil, Casemiro, Joe Linton would be the enabler. Okay. Jesse Sanchez, 6 clean sheets. David Raya, 7. Well, Sanchez is maturing. And I'm just happy that, yeah, we on Chelsea perspective, we realized that he's improving and was preaching for people to give him time, and I think he's gotten better. Sanchez 6 clean sheets, yeah. Our best centre back pairing is insane. Let's see what else we have here. The lap adapting to new teammates cannot demand Diego Costa level excellence overnight. Give him time to link up with Palmer. Yeah, Palmer's absence also, you can argue, hasn't helped. He's not been as pedestrian as Jackson used to be for us back then. I think what we will get, something different we'll get from the lab. Dante, he'd already talked about that he shoots instinctively, which means if once we start creating, again, once he settles down properly, and start getting at the end of the sort of chances that we created for Nicholas Jackson, that had he taken the shots instinctively at the time, would finish the season with a lot more goals. Him finishing the season with a lot more goals too. The lap will put those chances 99.9% of the time away. But the lap he's had, you can say hitches. You can say the injury he again hasn't helped. He will be fine. I'm not concerned really.
And Palmer's a key.
The lap
Palmer's
needs
key there, coach. Just to add, sorry. Palmer's
goals and
very key
assists.
for that.
Sorry?
Yeah. Palmer is very key for that because
Yeah.
he's a creator, Palmer. Whereas João Pedro is
Both they
more of
played
a
together under Enzo Maresca.
correct. João Pedro is a good 10, great 10, links up, down, but he's not really a creator in the last phase. That's where he probably lacks. He's not quite the creator in that phase that a striker needs behind him. He's more deeper, link up play, turn wide, whatever, but not really. He looks for himself more because he's basically a striker as well, João Pedro. So I think having Palmer there would make a massive, massive difference to the lap. Yes.
Yeah, the lab needs goals and assists as soon as possible. I admire his other the other aspects of his game, but as a 9, your numbers must work. Okay, we'll get to that in a bit. Something else I want to discuss with Dante. A question for both of you. Next season, would you sell Guy and keep Emera for next season, or loan Emera next season and keep Guy and let him develop? Here's the thing: Guy is more like the lab in terms of, you could argue, but the lap has a lot more to his game than people give him credit for. The lap is excellent on the ball, actually. But people see him more of as a traditional number 9. But that sort of aggression that Mark Gee brings, he brings that. But MRI is more of a hybrid number 9. MRI is actually more of Enzo Maresca type of striker than all the strikers we have right now. That's me, in my opinion, given what I know about Enzo Maresca. That's just me. But Dante, let's hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Emega's not going on loan next season. He will be staying. He will be coming to the club. Pretty much confirmed that in an interview that I saw with him as well for Strasbourg. So he will be coming next season. Yeah, look, it'll be Guy most likely. He's still very young, developing. Now, it also depends what Guy does the rest of this season as well. He could.
That's important to note. He still has time for him to, like, if he reaps up trees by the time the season ends. Exactly. Yeah, things might change.
He might take over Delap's position because he's better than Delap, and Delap's struggling, and Guy's the guy. It could happen. So competition there, but yes, definitely Omega will come in most likely over Guy as it stands, because Guy's still got a lot to add to his game over Delap. Guy, like I keep saying, he's perfect to bring on in the last 10 to 15 minutes because he's going to run, and he won't be as tired in those situations to make the right decisions, just like he did yesterday. But start him or anything longer than that, you will see his decision making, his ball striking, nothing will be good because he's too tired. He can't control his basically running and his aggression and the way he plays the pressing. So perfect off the bench last 10, 15 minutes. But for now, that's all he's probably really, that's his strong attribute right now, to do that, the pressing at the end of a game against opposition. That's it. Is that enough? No, that's not enough. So Omega will definitely come in and play, and he'll be very important, like you said, for Maresca. He's his type of striker. And let's not forget, he's very tall as well, Omega. And he's getting stronger. He's putting a bit of weight on. And is pretty technical for his size. He's pretty good finishing. So, yeah, he'll definitely be there. Most likely, Guy's the one. Probably might go the other way to Strasbourg. I think that'll be good for Guy.
Yeah, I think he will be. All right, let's see here. The lap off the ball just needs to be more nuisance to opposition, and just like a Droba, help out with defending. And I think he does a lot defensively. Maybe he's adding that to his game right now that he plays under Enzo Maresca at times. Every other element of his game, patience is needed. Yeah, definitely. And I think he'll come good. Jackson was so good in his other aspect of the game. Off the ball, you can say the defensive contributions. He has everything except shoot instinctively. But we criticize him for his lack of numbers and incompetence. I think, look, for me, me as an individual didn't go, you can say, wasn't that specific. Where I didn't, his lack of numbers wasn't my problem. It was those critical moments, that slight hesitation, him not being able to shoot instinctively, that was a huge problem for me. We criticize him for his lack of numbers and incompetence in front of goal. So it's only fair to treat the lab equally. Yeah, the latter part. The lab up front takes the burden of goal scoring of Pedro. That's what we want. Pedro being free flowing to dictate play in the final third. And Pedro, for me, isn't quite 100% actually. Yeah, maybe you could say the change in position, him playing, you say, as a second, basically as a 10 right now, you could say change the way he started his life as a Chelsea player. and he's still adapting maybe. The lab takes the initiative to test the goalkeeper, and that's what we demand more from Jackson. Give the lab time to sharpen his shooting. We shouldn't have Judge take his place next next time. All right, João Pedro was bad yesterday. We need a proper number 10 in Palmer's absence. I think when we look at João Pedro's numbers, I don't think he was bad. He did well enough. Dante, here's something I want us to talk about. There's something I think a lot of Chelsea fans aren't paying attention to. The way Enzo Maresca approaches the game, he's not Mourinho that you'd say our number nines, we get tons of goals at the end of the season. We play with a very fluid approach, irrespective of the structure.
Yeah.
We play with a very fluid approach, and I think he's drilled the team, or maybe continues to drill the team in a manner that the goals will come from various positions. Don't expect our number nines to get tons of goals, and it's down to the manager's approach. And this was one of the reasons why I was preaching for us not to get Osimhen. Not that Osimhen is a bad player, and because he had operated again, he's operated as a more like a traditional number nine, played in teams where every time they get closer to the final third, whether instinctively, whether by design, whether by subconsciously, they try to find him, leading to him getting tons of goals. And teams that operate like that, once the number nine is neutralized, because they played like that consistently, once the number nine is neutralized, they find it difficult to win games. To a certain point, that's actually Manchester City's issue under Pep. But that's, by the way, why do people find it difficult to understand? And my argument at the end was that if we sign Osimhen, he'd join Chelsea, he still do well enough, but because his numbers will not be anywhere close to the numbers he achieved at Napoli, people will start questioning why we signed him and had to pay how much we paid for him at the time. But let's educate people on why our number nines will not finish the season with tons of goals. They will get a sizable number of goals, but it's not going to be as many as a lot of people think it's going to be, because we play with a fluid approach.
Yeah, coach, pretty much what you said there. And Maresca said that on numerous occasions. He wants his forward players to have 10 goals each. His wingers are 10 goals each, because it is a more balanced, fluid approach into changing positions, especially in that 10, forward role. So, yeah, look, it's his style, the way he wants to play. He wants his striker to be drop deep and get involved in the play and link up the play as well. So when you do that, you're not just a box striker, a poacher that gets a lot of goals. So, like you said, very, interchangeable, some of those positions. And he wants everyone involved and don't have a focus basically on one player, because that makes it easier for opposition if you do that.
To neutralize us.
Yeah, you've got to start number 9 like Osimhen. Well, they're going to mark him as hard game plan for him and take him out of the game, and then you struggle with the rest that way most of the time. He doesn't want that. That's not his style. He doesn't like to play that. He likes to pass the ball around, spread the goals out, spread the assists out. And of course, though, still have an instinctive striker option like he does in the lap, where he'll shoot at first, which is still great to have. But I still think João Pedro will be the striker when Palmer comes back, and Palmer will be the 10, and João Pedro will be the starting striker, in my personal opinion. Probably,
but you could say, I think it'd be correct to say, given the way Maresca likes to approach the game, that is just a label.
Yes.
It's just a level, given that, he doesn't stay in the box. You can say he's not static in the box. Sometimes you see him dropping deep. Sometimes Palmer will actually be the one central waiting the ball to come from him. So it just doesn't matter, really. But go ahead, what you're saying.
Exactly, it doesn't matter. So that's just my personal thing. I still think he'll be that way because of that reason, because he's more suited to Maresca's game. But on certain games, certain opposition definitely need a striker like Delap as well. So he's got both of them now, which is good. He's got that option at least, and he will use it accordingly when they have everyone available properly. He will use it, but yeah, he said that many times in interviews. He wants 10 goals from his winger, left winger, 10 goals from right winger, 10 goals from his striker, 10 goals from Palmer. He wants it's the goals spread out and assist as well. He doesn't like a focal point, just one player, because that basically reduces your tactically. So he likes to have the option to play to get everyone involved, make different runs at different times, back posts, front post, pull back on the penalty box. Like I said, a lot of link up play. The striker needs to be very good at link up play. And that is probably João Pedro's strength, that link up play. Delap is good at it as well, but nowhere near as good as João Pedro at it. But yeah, look, they all have a purpose. But like you say, yeah, they're all very interchangeable in that front half. It's very fluid. It's a fluid approach. So basically, to confuse the enemy, basically, and not just have plan A, as people say, and nothing else. So
I mean, those that
yeah,
don't understand the way the manager approaches the game. A follow-up question for you. For me, I will almost always prefer a fluid approach, which means you'd have a team that's very difficult to neutralize. The opposition, they know the goals come from multiple positions, not just the number nine. For me, always, still, that's modern football for you. I think the best approach is to have a fluid approach. You don't have a situation where you have you could say a point man, a central figure, where every time you get to the final third, you try to find them. I think that creates a problem. But let's hear you. Which of the approaches do you prefer? A fluid approach, or you prefer an approach where you have a number nine in the box that, the teammates try to find from the flanks or the central area?
yeah.
But let's hear you.
Yeah, look, a balance is important, and that's why it's good that he's got the options. He's got that. As if it's not working the other way, well, you can always add that and try that way. So again, a balance. I definitely prefer the
But never a
more
situation where it is just solely that static approach.
exactly. So I definitely prefer having people move around, drop deep, that and link up play and more fluid. Yeah, I like that. Even when I played that number 10 role, so that's what I wanted from my wingers and my striker to be fluid and move around into link up play, so I can pick up, if I turn left, I know where he's running, what he's doing. The other one's running across. It gives option to a creator, and yes, that's why I think Parma is very important, because we don't have that really. One of the next questions there, we don't have that pure 10 to do that very well. João Pedro is very good at linking up play, dropping deep, shooting, doing this, but not really that final pass ball. Like we saw yesterday, he had a couple of chances to put a couple of players through once he got past the defensive midfielder with a couple of nice turns. He just couldn't put that final ball through. That's probably his weakness.
Or you could
As a
argue he's
10.
readapting, because before the return of the lab, he's played mainly as a nine.
Yeah, of course he's adapting. Yeah, it is. Look, he can do it, but it's just saying it's not his strength. And you saw that on show yesterday. A couple of times he could have put a nice little ball through out wide or through the center. He's looking more for a little bit more himself, because he's more of that number 9. So yeah, look, once Palmer comes, I think we'll be pretty scary with Palmer in that position. I think you're going to see a lot more creativity going forward, and more chances and more goals as well, in my opinion. So yeah, once Esteval develops into that as well, because I think he will develop into that 10 as he ages and gets more experience. Well, then you have that option as well. But for now, he's more of a pure winger at the moment, Esteval.
All right, I wanted to say this. Maybe it's just me. I like João Pedro. I'm not saying he's a bad player. And I think you've probably already said something to that effect, that he's looking out for himself. I think he can be a little less selfish. And I think that will go a long way.
It's not his fault, coach. He's more of a striker. Yeah, he's played more as a striker. So, I mean, yeah, you expect him to do that in that final instance, to shoot, because that's his instinct, to shoot. But like I said, like yesterday was a great example. he could have passed it as a number 10. Number one is to assist, basically, to find your teammates. He got past his defender, his defensive midfielder, turned him, got in, great touch, acceleration, quick. Just that final ball when he needed to, he was putting his head up to look at goal instead of looking for his teammate, which he's still learning and adapting because he hasn't played always at that 10 position. So you can't really 100% blame him for that. It's just his instinct to look up and to shoot in those instances because mostly he's a striker, not really a 10, in my opinion. So, and he's played more as a striker than a 10.
Yeah, and for context, who I think I did see somebody there. The number 9 jersey, don't worry about it. And Raxi here said João Pedro was bad. Yes, he wasn't. Even numbers say otherwise. I don't think he was bad.
No, not
That's my
no.
opinion. Maybe to you he was, but I don't think he was. Go ahead, Dante. You were saying something.
Yeah, no, he wasn't bad. Like I said, it's just that final as a 10, that final assist instead of maybe a shot or a wrong decision. Yes, he wasn't good at that, but the rest he was actually pretty good. He wasn't that bad at all. No.
Yeah, and here we are saying that we have Bonanote, even if the stubbornness not to play Estevao is there. Maresca will be the reason Pedro goes in and out of form. That's some accusation here. And Bonanote actually, the last time we talked about him, Dante, if you remember, we looked beyond how pretty you can say he's looked on the pitch to the fact that numbers tell a different story. He's not been that productive. And
No, he hasn't.
you could argue that's probably the reason why he hasn't played in a while. Not in how many games has he missed? 3, 4?
Yeah, he hasn't. He wasn't even on the bench to come on yesterday. So
Yeah, so those things matter. Even before that happened, we had a conversation at length and we realized that, yeah, he's looked good on the pitch. The quick 1-2s, good control, fancy moves, but beyond that, output doesn't justify him getting chances, whereas we have numbers. Plus, something else you have to consider, as long as we
he's
have
on loan.
numbers and other players who can come in and do, you can say, do better than him or play well, he's on loan. But go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, he's on loan. He's not. He won't be a Chelsea player at the end of the season, most likely, and he's on loan. He'll play, minutes, other games, maybe in Europe or cup games, but yeah, he's on loan. He's not going to play that much. He's just there just in case if João Pedro gets injured as well, and Estevao gets injured as well. He's just insurance policy basically for that position. Play him every now and then, but he's not going to play that much, to be honest. So he's on loan, and yeah, he's
And I
not
mean, again, he has to show some, again, perform. He has to perform exceptionally to guarantee he starts again a lot of games.
exactly. He didn't do that. He didn't take his chances when he got given them. He played okay, but for a 10, for a 10, the key assisting enough. He did nice 1-2s, but that was it. There was no assisting. There was no forward progression with the ball. There was no through balls passing. There was nothing to tell you that he's ready or he's good enough to do it. Now, benefit of the doubt, he's new with the team, new teammates. It'll take much longer, especially in that position. But we might see him in the back half of the. We'll see him play when we start in some of the early cup competitions as well. When we start there, might see him, but he's on loan now. He's there just in case. It's an insurance policy more than anything.
Yeah. Let's see. Bruno is hardly making it in the squad. Estevao loses ball. Key areas. I think that has subsided. That has reduced a number 10 of wings. So Estevao is developing and he will learn quickly. But Maresca isn't wrong. He's not wrong. Again, as I've said, we had a lengthy conversation about Bonanote and he's looked pretty on the pitch, but productivity, no, doesn't justify him starting over some of our players. Give us a chance to grow into the first team. If he wasn't ready yet, then how did he show his single-handedly hungry to be that game changer? I don't think any Chelsea fans are actually at the moment are questioning his abilities. That if anything, they want him to be starting week in week out. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Again, I would try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. I can't read everything. If I try to read everything you have in the chat, what if we have about 100 people in the chat? But your contributions have been so tempting to read everything you have there. Wira and this my other bro Rax Murray. You all have been excellent contributions, opinions are from you guys. I like reading them, but I can't read everything. Wira here says that there must be a balance. That is true, but I don't see a common sense in going from Pedro to a judge up top in a game plan, a fluid, a plan B focal point. Like I said, Guy and the lab is available. Use them. Um, the fact that Maresca prefers a fluid approach, uh, if Judge is doing well, I think you probably select him over Marquis. That's my opinion, but I get your point. It's important to have that option to be able to mix things up. Sometimes you need to bully opposition defenders. Where you just look at how Marquis created the second goal. By the way, excellent drive from him. Then the La Masia part of him was the reason why he looked up and found his teammate. I'd argue if that was the lap on Nicholas Jackson, they probably tried to shoot.
Or
But
Delap
that
definitely.
but
Jackson,
that
no.
La Masia part of Guy was the reason why he looked up and tried to find his teammate. Sorry, you were saying something, Dante.
Delap definitely would have shot, but not Jackson. He wouldn't have. He probably would have passed. But again, yes, he did well to do that. But his jersey was getting pulled. Now, again, if he just went down, the opposition would have got probably a red card, and it would have been a penalty. So
But it's no
he
guarantee
stayed
it
up.
there's no guarantee that happens. But I'm glad
No,
he
what do you mean? The jersey was getting pulled from left to right, coach. He
was it
just
that
needed to go down.
obvious?
Yes, look at the replays, slow replays. Yes, it was definitely. It would have been VAR 100%. It would have been a red card as well. I'm just saying it's good. Like he kept going, but sometimes you gotta have that instinct as well to know to go down because maybe that pass wasn't gonna happen or it could have been missed because he went through two players. The shot of Enzo, there was two players in the way. Luckily, he got through them and he went in the goal. But I'm just saying, instinctively wise, he probably should have gone down. It would have been a penalty and a red card if he did that, most likely. So, look, not taking it away anything from it, he did very, very good. And this is why I liked him to come on that last 10 minutes because he can do that and make the right make a pretty good decision because he's still not completely burnt out. So, but yeah, probably should have gone down in that instance. To be honest, if that was João Pedro, he would have gone down. If that was probably Jackson, he would have gone down. Some of those players would have gone down. Now, this comes with experience, obviously,
Even the lap
as well.
too.
In Delap would have gone down. He's done that
The
many
lap
times.
is actually for me. I see him as a diver, but he's been good
He does, yeah.
since he
He
hits a deck
embellishes. He
easily.
likes
Go
to
ahead.
embellish. Yeah, he likes to embellish it, and he's not very good at it, Delap yet. So yeah, he's.
Yeah, it's so
But he would have
you
gone
can
down
say
as
it's
well.
so obvious whenever he does it.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not good at selling it too well, but usually needs quite a lot of contact for him to go down. But yeah, I think all those other players probably would have gone down. Yes, yes. So I mean, you can praise him that he stayed up and he got the pass and we scored, or you look at it the other way that really should have maybe gone down and got the penalty and a red card as well. So it depends how you look at it. But just wanted to bring that up. That's all.
Yeah, before we continue, I'm going to look at, given the comment that João Pedro didn't do well, let's look at his numbers and see how he performed in that game. I think he did well. He played 76 minutes, total shots, 2 in total. One, he ballooned it, actually. That he orchestrated on the half turn. Chances created, 1. Expected goals, 0.20. Expected assists 0.12 as okay. Defensive contributions, he contributes a lot defensively, 9 in total Shots
Yeah,
on target 0 out of 2 attempts. Touches 54. Touches in the opposition box 4 in total. Successful dribbles 2 out of 2. Um, Passes into the final third 4. He lives there. So for him to be outside the box and okay, so you could argue that number's still good. Accurate long balls 1 out of 1. Offside twice. Dispossessed 5 times. Ooh,
and that's the
okay.
problem there. That's when he was in good positions to lay it off
Mhm.
to the left or to the right, or a through ball to the lap. But instead, he decided to take another touch to set up for a shot, and he lost the ball a couple of times in that position. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's not the first time actually. I think yeah, but we're not saying he's a bad player. Ground rules won 4 out of 11, 36%. Yeah, that's poor. Aerial duels 1, 2 out of 2, excellent. He's good aerially. He was fouled twice, fouls committed, but dang it, this five five times. That's probably what people are going off of saying he was poor. But I don't think he was poor in that game. He wasn't excellent. He wasn't poor either.
it was average,
That's
just an
how
average, yeah, average
he just have
performance.
yeah average performance overall for him, in my opinion. Let's see. What's your emotion for Barca and Arsenal games now that we have won the ball again? Fixture worried, excited, confident? No, Houston, I'm not concerned. Uh, I think I've the bigger the occasion, the more confident I am. I'm not concerned. And in all honesty, I get it. The buying game was a good game, a big one, but we practically gave them the win, irrespective of whether you think they played better than us. I'm not concerned really. I will cross that bridge when we get there. That's my opinion. Um, I'm looking forward to those games, especially Arsenal. And I think Maresca would want to get one uh, over Mikel Arteta, and the fact of that again the disparity in points between us and them uh, and that much. I don't think he won't take that game lightly. I think he will plan for it very well. Hopefully, he doesn't overthink it. And I think the players themselves they would want to win that one. And I think they will give their best on the day. It's a game that's not the set of game that I get concerned. It's when we're playing a bottom table team that I get concerned that our players, given the fact that are not that experienced, chances are they go into that game with the mindset we've already won the game, aka Charity FC. So I'm not concerned really. Same thing I told people before I game against Tottenham because people were concerned because they what game did we play? Was it Sunderland before that game? They thought we're definitely losing against Tottenham because we lost against Sunderland or something to that effect. Aha! I heard cup games for Bruno. So if I see Pedro start at 10 for Cardiff, then it was pointless to loan him in, right? You can argue to sometimes you don't want to risk not having cover in certain positions. You just do it. Then if it turns out your players are able to fulfill that role, so be it. Our players that have gone out on loan, they've experienced such situations before. Andrey Santos, I think when he went on loan to Nottingham Forest, they signed I think Senegalese international, and he didn't even play at all. I think so. But you don't want to risk a situation where again you don't have cover. You just have to have a plan B, and in most cases, loan players on loan are in most cases plan Bs. FA and Carabao minutes for Bueno is deal. I agree. He's not suited for the Premier League. No. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. I will end my stay in here with my final question with a 1.5 season since Judge got promoted. Do you see a specialist, a role for him? Keep in mind his move to Fulham failed last minute. That's a very good question. Where's that again? Do you see a specialist role for him on the flanks? He's not bad on the flanks. When deployed as a winger, he does well, actually. It's just the only thing he hadn't done on occasions where he started on the flanks is be less selfish and look to create chances for his teammates. He's almost always looked to shoot every time he gets a chance. But I think he's equipped to operate effectively as a winger. That's my opinion. And Enzo Maresca actually likes him. But Dante, let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, look, as a winger, but he is changing. He's growing, getting taller. He might transition from what I can see. He's had a couple of games where he wasn't very good at 30 minutes at striker, but the other games he scored or assisted when playing in that position up front, that false nine. It's not really a striker; it's a false nine. So, like we talked about the fluid approach, he drifts out left, drifts out right, drops deep, forward. It's more of a fluid false nine position, and I think Maresca used
Not
him.
necessarily because he's traditionally a nine.
No, he's not a nine, but he can transition to that. Don't be surprised. A lot of these kids at that age,
And he can
they
shoot
start,
very well.
yeah, and he's got a really good shot on him. And I think again, people don't see what happens in training. He might be playing really well, doing the striker things right more in training. Striking the ball while doing the right thing. Look at a picture from last year to this year. You'll see he's grown a couple. I think an inch he's grown, and he's put a bit of muscle mass, getting bigger. And I think you never know. He might transition into more. Maresca's seeing it that way. Obviously, his assistants seeing that way. He's transitioning more into a hybrid nine, false nine kind of player that can play on the wing as well, which helps you going forward because your versatility helps you. It's going to get you more game time if you're
But my
versatile.
greatest
So,
problem with him is that he doesn't look to create. Almost always trying to score himself.
yeah, because at the youth level, he was the one doing that. So yes, he's still trying that, which is fine. I mean, if Maresca's encouraging that, that's fine, no problem. If he's got the freedom to do it, that's fine. But yeah, I do think he might transition as his body grows taller. He's getting really tall actually. So and he's still going to grow probably a couple more inches. He's going to get really tall. That might push him away from the wings because of that. Very similar to João Pedro. João Pedro was 5 foot. I think he was 5'11" when he joined, and then at Watford, and then he grew, and he's 6'2" now. He started on the wings as well, and then he transitioned to a nine. It's because he grew too tall, and when you go taller, you get a little bit slower as well. Let's not forget, you don't not as quick anymore. You get slower. So I think that's the thinking behind it. They see him and circumstance. We had the lap out. Guy wasn't here. He was out. He wasn't training well. We didn't have many options available either. So that circumstance pushed him there as well. But look, he can definitely play that role now. He's transitioning into that role. He can do it. He might even become a number nine. You never know. He fills out a bit, gets a bit even more taller. Well, he's probably going to not play on the wings if that happens. He's going to be more of a nine or a false nine. And that happens a lot, yeah, when you grow. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, what happens in January? Is he staying? Is he going in January? It depends what offer we get, and it depends what guaranteed game time he gets as well. That'll be interesting. I
And
probably
it's
am.
important, you could say, to when his contract expires. I don't think we would want to risk anything, risk him
Of
leaving as
course,
a, yeah.
not
Um,
just that, but if the player doesn't want to stay anymore, well,
he
then we're
doesn't. I
not.
think we've learned that. So I'd stick with him not wanting to stay rather than him being sold for pure profit. Go ahead with what you were saying. Sorry.
Yeah, has he got enough game time? He's got pretty good game time. You can't really, for his age, he's got a not bad game time. But obviously, he could probably play a lot more in some other lesser teams. So it will be up to the player. Personally, I think we'll probably sell him, and we'll probably won't be asking the lower. I think I think his price has probably gone up £5 million because of his versatility as well, and that he stayed with us an extra 6 months and scored and assisted some goals as well. So his price has probably gone up a little bit as well, which benefits us as well. So I think it'll be a win-win in the end for all parties involved.
Yeah, Weira says the judge is a flank player. This is why him playing up top just baffles Weira. Maresca likes him. Uh, he's keen to play whenever the manager wants him, wherever the manager wants him. Basically, another Mason Mount. What happened to him? I don't know what happened to Mount. Mount is actually, you could say, his industry is the reason why managers play them, burn him out, and you could say, Jesus Christ, Thomas Tuchel overplayed him. Even at some point, it was clear that mentally that he was tired. His decision making on the pitch at the time reflect the fact that he needed a break or some rest. But Thomas Tuchel didn't rest him, kept playing him. And the only time he played where he was coached properly, in my opinion, was when he went on loan to was the club in Netherlands. Is it Anzi Aima? How would you pronounce it? I'm not sure. But after that, the rest of the managers he played on from Frank Lampard to Thomas Tuchel, I think they liked him mainly because of his industry. And he didn't quite, you can say, develop into the players that his potential showed that he's capable of becoming. It was all about his energy on the pitch, pressing, running. I hated it because I liked him. But at some point, I realized that's it. He's never going to become that player, unfortunately. Let's see. A Fulham wanton judge makes sense. He will be getting older, and Marco Silva was just planning for the worst. This ties in with your issue with Maresca's management. In Judge's case, I don't blame him honestly. Listen, we have better players on the flanks, in my opinion. Look, you see it the way you see it. I see it the way I see it. You know how
Sorry,
we
coach.
operate here. We don't have
Just
to
wanna
agree. Go ahead.
just wanna ask you, what is the problem with him? He's actually played George, so why are you blaming Maresca? Because he's played him, and mm,
Actually,
it would have
played him
been
more
better
than
for
he
him not to
should in
play.
positions where we had players that we assume are better than him at fulfilling those roles. Go ahead.
No, but we didn't have the lap. We didn't have Gear at the time. He was gone on loan, and no, we and also George played. He's getting opportunities, and we talked about the even though he played as a nine, he still drifted out to the left because it was a very fluid approach. We saw him on the left drift out a bit to the right centrally, so he still got those opportunities out wide, and he played. I mean, I don't know how you can blame Maresca. He actually managed him well. He gave the kid game time. I think that is the biggest praise you can get from a manager at that age. You got game time. That just shows you that you're doing the right things off the field in training. He's being professional at a young age, and he's doing the right things. I don't see how that is a management issue. Should be praised. Maresca should be praised for giving young kids from the academy game time. Last season, 9 debutants. I mean, it's a problem when they don't play. He doesn't play. Uh, if he wasn't playing him at all, that's maybe a problem, and he deserves to be playing. But he actually gave him a lot of game time, so I don't see how that is a problem, a management problem.
I mean, opinions. Who knows? Frank will buy him for Coventry next season if they get promoted. Yeah, he could if he wants to. Sandola, nice to see you. Thank you for that opinion there. And Wira says that we didn't have the lap and gear true. But who would you trust to play false nine, Nato or Judge? Clearly, Nato can be trusted to do that role more than him. I don't know, but the manager sees it differently. But I'm glad you understand the reason why he played there in the first place. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't just want feels like any player that starts at number 9 should be bulkier than George, taller than George, and all that. But yeah. Okay, let's go news hunting, and I think after that we'll call it a day. What do we have here? Enzo Maresca,
Let me answer.
39
Sorry,
minutes.
coach. Let me answer that Sandaloa, please.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's not. some players, very rarely, yes, it can happen, but most of the times your mechanics change. The way you run, your stride, the way you dribble a ball, everything changes. So
Natural development.
yeah, so it just it's not just, because you're getting taller. It's not BS because it's been proven that it's not BS. That's just how it works. That's why you don't see wingers that are, very tall. How many wingers do you see that are, tall guys? Not many out there. There's hardly any I can think of, to be honest. So it's not. It's just because your mechanics change, the way you run, your dribble with the ball, your strides, everything changes. So it's a bit more complex than just saying it's BS. It's actually been proven. The taller you get like that, you always in football you move is more centrally because that's just how it is. You're not suited to that out game wide. Now it depends what level you're talking at.
The
If you're
lower
talking
the
about
gravity,
if you're talking about Sunday league
the lower
football,
the
then that's
center of
fine.
gravity.
Yeah, exactly, coach. Gravity makes a big difference, correct? Uh, the drag, how you run, everything changes, your mechanics changes. But yeah, as for Sunday league football, that's true. No, who cares about Sunday league football? Well, when you're talking about the top level professionals, that changes a little bit. It's not quite the same as every, Sunday league football or normal, it doesn't matter then because you're still the
Center of
strongest,
gravity
fastest guy out
comes
there
into
anyway.
play.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a serious factor. Balance everything, you know.
That's what I mean. The mechanics change
Yeah,
completely.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm just using more again, breaking it down even more for a lot of people to get it. Mechanics. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
general language, in my opinion. But go ahead, what you're saying.
Yeah, so yeah, sports science. But yeah, look, that's why you don't see at the top level tall wingers. There's not really any tall wingers out there.
No,
You're
no,
not
I don't. I can't even remember one right now.
exactly. So it's got more to do with just, that. It's all the mechanics, all the sports science, all the other stuff that there's a lot involved. But yes, if you're saying it's BS at a lower level, yeah, pretty much. At level doesn't matter. But at the higher levels, it matters a lot. Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, good way to put it. There, racks are taller you get in football. You're built physically, indirectly slows one down. Yeah, but that type of tall is a different type of tall. I don't like what YouTube did. A lot of people changed their name. Some people I know them by their name before, but a lot changed. And Kenyan revolutionary, I haven't seen you in a while. I do hope. Well, how tall is Alyssa? There's a type of tall. Listen, but you get. It's not saying. But
He's
Alyssa,
not
is he
tall.
really that quick?
He's not tall. At least he's not tall. He's
But even at that, is
1.79
he
or
really
1.8.
that quick?
He's very quick with his feet, but not in a
Yeah,
sprint.
not in terms
Yes.
of sprinting. Yeah.
He's only 1.8 meters. He's not tall. He's average height. He's 5'11". That's not tall.
And that's not tall, actually.
No, that's not tall. That's
But
perfect.
Kenya revolutionary. I haven't seen you in a while. That's like probably since last season. But I think the timing of the show is probably the reason why you've not been here. I do hope you're doing well, and hopefully your absence simply means that you've been busy. And if that's the case, happy for you. Bills don't pay themselves. And once again, my bro, the blue tiff again, if you're watching, I do hope you're doing well. And Glenn 10, if you're watching, I do hope you're doing well. I miss you both. All right, let's see the lower the center of gravity, more talented in terms of talent, maybe no. I think probably balance, more importantly, in ball control. But you just phrased it differently. More talented in ball control, maybe balance, maybe in my opinion. I get what you're saying. And he is a winger, okay, but I get you. He's not that tall. I know. Nice seeing you. I was depressed on the purchase.
Yes, Kenyan.
Our
Yes,
ex.
we were our ex. Yes, just say ex. Don't say his name. Yeah, he doesn't deserve that. So.
We call it our ex. We don't say his name these days. Dang it. What a time that was. I hardly ever do a video asking for a manager to be let go, but I did.
Yep, that was good to see from you, coach. I pushed you into that quite a lot. There was a lot of peer pressure.
But really, there were reasons for that.
Valid reasons, yes.
Valid reasons for that. Yeah. So I think just start screaming punch out. I saw reasons to do so and I had to. So Enzo Maresca here says we try to get as many players as we can inside the box. I think, yeah, it didn't take a while for us to notice. We attack with a lot of players. We know when you only have one or two players in the box, it's hard. But when you fill the box with 5 or 6 players, you have more chances to score. And that also brings us back to something we'd already talked about as the show progressed here. We don't play in a traditional manner. We don't play in a manner where at the end of the season, our number 9s will have tons of goals. They will have plenty, but not tons. I think this is Vince's opinion here. Okay. Okay. 22nd December 2024 to 22nd February 2025, 10 Premier League games, 9 points, 2 wins, 3 draws, 5 defeats. And we still managed to make top 4. Another evidence that February March is when the real season rush starts. That's when the fatigue sets in and most teams become weaker. And that's why a lot of people tell you, yeah, they make the call on who they think will win the game. You know, once we get to that period. A lot of Vince's opinion here. I'm looking for anything. Was this August win? Okay, Burnley. Okay.
Because that was one of Burnley's win against Sunderland.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Football. I mean, you can't script the game. Football 1+1 doesn't always amount to 2. There's no doubt Kukurea was Chelsea's star on the day against Burnley, and he is in the conversation alongside Cole Palmer and Caicedo as one of the club's very best players. He is. He's again. It'd be stupid to count him off. Against PSG in the Club World Cup, not just him, he was brilliant. And on 2, okay, there's one cross. I think the cross was the former Napoli player. The cross went across the face of our goal, not close, say around the 6-yard box to I think it was Hakimi on the other side. And Kukurea was already headed further down into the 6-yard box, but he was experienced enough and intelligent enough to realize that I think Hakimi wouldn't try to come and dribble him, that he tried to square the ball to whoever that was waiting for it on the other end. He was, you could say, 1 foot for again. He read it so well that he stopped it. And had we considered that point in the game, it mean that we'll be all out to get an equalizing goal and could end up losing it. And there was one he cleared a ball again. That was against one of the Brazilian teams. He cleared the ball. It was a goal line clearance basically. Was it against Thiago Silva's team? So yeah, I think he's been one of our best players since two seasons now. Honestly, so he's been that good. So I agree with this. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Dante.
Well, he's an argument to be the best left back in the world, to be honest. So top two. There's only him and the PSG guy, but depends how you look at it. Club level, maybe you'll say because he's achieved the PSG left back. But if you look at it totality, club, and then you add international, well, he's number 1 in the world then.
And tactically, he's, you could say, an effective tool in every manager's hand. Did you see how he operated yesterday?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So he's that sort of player that before a game starts, the manager sits him down and plans. This is how. Look. There was one I saw. Was it Robert Sanchez orchestrated a pass, and I wasn't sure who the pass was going to, and boom, Kukurea, as if he just appeared out of nowhere in that central area. I mean, tactically, My goodness, I don't see a manager in world football that wouldn't want him in his squad. Dang it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Rax is saying the same thing. I probably would grade him above Mendes because of the reasons I said. So I would look at him as the best left back in the world, to be honest.
And again, he's been he's been brilliant under Enzo Maresca, honestly. And
Yeah,
what a
not our
story!
ex, not our ex.
Not our ex, no, our ex was confused.
He
You
didn't
could
want to
say we
use him. He
started
wanted to
doing
sell him.
better under our ex the moment he realized that better utilized, you could say, as an inverted fullback.
Well, he didn't even use him hardly at all, coach. He wanted to get rid of him. So yeah,
He
with
that's the
last six
truth.
games.
Actually, he nearly joined Manchester United, and had he gone on loan, the chances are he'd be a Manchester United player right now.
Yeah, no, he didn't want him. He wanted him to go. He didn't want him. Thiago Silva was the reason he started those last six games because he said he actually told he wants him to invert because he suggested that to Pochettino or our ex, sorry, and yeah, that's the reason he only did it because he was already out the door. Our ex was already he didn't really care, so he's like, yeah, all right, you guys do that, no problem, basically. And Thiago Silva has said that in an interview. Yeah, he's the reason why we inverted him. His suggestion to our manager to do that. And that was those last 6 games where we won all of them. We were in 10th position, coach. People forget at that time. Of those 7 games to go, 10th position. If we did, lucky we won those game when he inverted, and I was screaming for him to do that forever, to put him and play him, and use him, but he just didn't want to. He didn't rate Cucurella at all. Well, I think we know who was right in the end there.
Yeah, you know who. Cuckoo was about to join United, as well as Nuno Mendes was about to join United. Everybody wanted to join United, honestly. But I'm happy we kept him. I didn't give up on him. Because from time, I knew the type of, even before we signed him, I knew the type of player. Um, you could say he is really. I'm
And
glad.
coach, Maresca would have had a big say in that when he did the interview and talked about the squad. He pinpointed him as one of the key players he wants
You
to keep.
think that at that point, that when talks of him joining United was still very much active, that the club had already started talking with Maresca at the time,
No, no, no. At the end of the season, Cucurella was probably going to leave at the end of that season.
given the way he was treated during the course of the
Correct.
season.
Yes, yes. And in the interview that Maresca did when he asked him about squad profile players, that was one of the guys he mentioned that he's going to be, he likes the way he play and what he does. So I'm guarantee you, Cucurella would have gone if the way things went. He would have gone at the end of that season. Why would he stay? He could go back to Spain, another big team, any big team. Could have gone back anywhere. Maresca would have convinced him to stay, that he's the starting left back and he's going to use him this way. And in one of the interviews he said he named him as one of the guys that he sees as a key player in the system. So, because let's not forget, Maresca loves to invert. So of course, he's going to be a key player in his system. So yeah, Maresca is a big reason he stayed, in my opinion. I think he would have gone otherwise.
But Jesus Christ, we've been through a lot. We had Dennis Zakaria on that Potter, right? And he didn't use him.
Once or twice only. Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though when he got a chance to play, he protected our defensive line better.
He was very good when he played, actually.
He was good when he played. Still, didn't use. I get it. He had injury issues, but there were times when he was fully fit, and when he got to play, he did well. We did better. Even he contributed well, both offensively and defensively. And yet, the next game he dropped him.
That's another ex that didn't know what he was doing. It was too overwhelming for him. Too many players, and he admitted that.
And not even too many players. I think he did, again at the time. It did come across as if he wasn't. He didn't have, you could say, the cojones maybe to drop the big name
Yeah.
players in the squad at the time.
Well, that's it. He's too nice. He's too naive and too nice. And yeah, you have to be like Maresca when he came in, ruthless. You, not sorry, not needed. Train with the under 21s, not needed. This is my core. This is the guys I like. Potter said, "No, you. Let's build a bigger change room. All of you are welcome." You can't do that. I'm sorry, not at that
No, you
level.
just
That's when,
can't.
yeah,
Players,
you
we could
can't.
say,
The players will eat you up
yeah, they
if you do
will.
that.
And that's exactly what happened. Dang it. All right, let's see. Let's catch up and then we'll call it a day. What do we have here? Cuckoo was about to join. Yeah, I think we've addressed that one. I don't know what was going on at the time. The lap was a mistake. He does not fit the system. What do you think? Not a mistake. I'd like you to go back and look at the games he played for us at the Club World Cup. Then you decide whether he played well or badly. And it's important to remember he got injured and was out for a while. So currently, I think the most accurate observation, maybe, or conclusion would be that he's still not 100% match fit. Yeah, he's a good player, and I think he will come good for us. And he brings balance. I think balance would be the most accurate word there, or relatable, in terms of us not having only hybrid number nines. Sometimes the manager, you can say, he might want his attackers, his number nine, to operate as a more traditional number nine, down to how the opposition plays.
Yeah, and I think 90% of the Chelsea fan base wanted a more physical striker to come in the summer, and that's exactly what he is, a more
So we have
physical.
that mix now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it gives you that we have that option to play that card if we need it. So yeah, it's we always wanted that balance and versatility. So we have it. Yeah, it's unfortunate he went down because he missed a big chunk of training and getting to know the players even better. So yeah, he's got. It's like, he's lost over a month and a half. He's lost, so he's catching up again. He's got to catch that time up again. But I think he'll be fine. The fire is there in his belly. You can see the fire is there to do it.
And I'm not concerned about him. You can say wearing the number nine jersey. I think is fine. Poch was playing Chilwell. Yeah, that was an issue at the time, right?
Yeah, and Ian Matson
Yeah, and Ian Matson actually. I think Matson.
in the 10 and the right wing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Matson would have actually. I think he would have survived Enzo Maresca had he stayed.
Yeah, because he would have been that inverted wing, that inverted fullback as well. Yes.
And yeah, he's equipped for that role, and he's technically gifted. But Jesus Christ, the Poch confuse us a lot. My
Well, he's still
word.
confusing the USA. He's still
Yeah,
confusing.
I don't watch our games anymore because I get pissed. I don't hate him as an individual, but as a manager, I come on, man. The
I,
last manager that the US had that I liked, that I watched all our games at the time, was Klinsmann.
yeah, he was all right. He was pretty
Yeah,
good.
when he was our manager, yeah. But
I just
him,
saw an interview of him 2 days ago. He's at it again with the journalists. Like, he pointed to the badge and saying, "I'm the USA manager. I know everything. You guys know nothing." And then he
I
went on
like
a
him really.
rant, half an hour in circles on a rant, and like on and on and on and on. And he got back to the same point that he originally made. So he just talked for half an hour for no reason, basically.
Klinsmann.
No, it was
Oh,
Poch.
Poch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's not a good communicator. Maybe the language issue. Um, Jesus Christ, I remember. I think it was Lewis, um, Chelsea fan TV, shared a video where Poch was trying to explain his approach to a lady, and you could tell the lady was on the verge of busting into laughter because yeah, even I wasn't able to tell what he was trying to communicate.
Look, he's a hippie. He's a hippie in like real life. He's very a hippie lifestyle. So he's quite out there. Let's just say he's quite alternative. That's his lifestyle. That's the way he is. That's who he is.
But the
It is what it
communication
is.
is a
But
different thing. That has nothing to do with the way, with regards to the way he communicates what he wants to his players. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Yeah, I can't give him the language thing too much because he's been in England for like 10 years. I
And
mean,
should be, you can say, able to communicate effectively.
yeah, coach. And he talks his press conferences. Remember, they would go for like 50 minutes. Maresca's press conferences go for 10 minutes.
Brief, but full of
To the point.
context.
Yeah, just honestly, straight to the point. No BSing around. Yeah, but Poch completely different. 50 minutes each press conference. I remember I stopped watching. I'm like, I can't watch this guy. What is he doing? He wants to be the main guy, center of attraction. He's that type of guy. But it is what it is. Thank God we moved on from him.
We moved on and we didn't hesitate. And Houston, the truth is that even the players, you can say, they were having a dig at him. I remember Moses Caicedo saying under the previous manager it was
Oh
wrong,
yeah,
wrong, 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 wrong. You remember that, right?
Cucurella, Caicedo, even Jackson, that he played a lot every game. Doesn't matter what he did.
And Scott Jackson
Every,
scored a lot.
and scored a lot. Yeah, they all said afterwards, there was a lot of things that weren't quite good. That weren't quite that a bit weird. They said it was quite a bit weird. A lot of the things, and like that's why I go back to his lifestyle because he's like a hippie at heart. So he tries to take a different approach from everyone else. He tries to mix it up a little bit differently, but sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. It hasn't worked since Tottenham. Nowhere.
Barbecue and everything. Yeah, but Houston, I was off. I supported him.
So did I from the start. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started. I'm going to support every manager and every player that we signed from the start. 100%.
Okay. Final question, Dante. Would you say the half centre back pairing, which is the best for you?
That's a good question. Probably Wesley Fofana, that right centre back role that he can on the right hand side, and I would say Badia Shield would be good for me over Chalaba, but Chalaba's done very well recently, so he probably deserves to keep going in that position. Uh, but ideally, I would like that combination: left foot, right foot. Uh, Badia Shield's he's very tall as well. Obviously, he's very physical as well. He's put on a bit of meat, Badia Shield. He's been in the gym a little bit. And I like his ball playing ability. I think Shalaba struggles on that left hand side
Which
with the
is
ball
key to the
playing.
manager's approach.
Yes, yeah. So, but look, Shalaba, the last 3 games against Tottenham, this game and we had a total of 0.75 xg against us. While when they were partnerships. I think 2 or 3 games we went with not conceding anything, 0.012 or something against Tottenham. And what was the other team that they were the starting 2 centre backs and they played very, very well. And Chalobah again yesterday, even Fofana wasn't there, he played very, very well. So I think him and Fofana, but I can see he'll be Fofana and Badishil. I think still Maresca would still lean towards that partnership a little bit more.
And more importantly, Chalobah is more of the only, you can argue, traditional centre back we have.
Yeah.
And so he brings good balance.
He does, yes. And you got to get, like I said, he's not my favorite. I think he's a great squad player, but not really a starter for me. Not week in and week out. But the last 3 games he's played, he's done very, very well. So, keep going with that partnership. Keep going with Fofana and Chalobah as your main 2 at the back.
But I think against Barcelona, it'd be Fofana and who? You think Badiashile?
For ball playing, yeah, I probably would do that. Yes.
Badiashile nearly, we nearly conceded from his error yesterday.
Yeah, look, it's one of those. It's error. Not the ball came in fast. He misjudged it a little bit. So yeah, you can say that's error. But Santos was right there. The guy wouldn't have scored anyway. So, yeah, that's the only time. Probably because he's still coming back from injury. That's why I said keep persisting with Chalobah. But I can see Maresca because they're going to press high Barcelona, right? They're going to be on us. Do you want Chalobah with the ball, a left centre back?
No.
No, I don't either. In possession, I don't want that. So that's the only reason I say that.
Yeah, okay. We're about to round off. Banfordino, let's give you 2 or 3 minutes. Your thoughts on the game
Or
before we call
Achapong,
it a day
coach. I would
because we've been
actually put
streaming for
Achapong.
3 hours. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dante.
Achapong. I would even put Achapong ahead of Chalobah in that game.
I would. Maybe he plays. You never know.
And it's at home, so maybe he actually plays in that game. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Banfordino, your thoughts on the game? Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We're about to round up, but I just have to give you.
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to wrap up everything, I said something at the beginning of this season, and a lot of people thought I was joking, and they said, "Oh, we should give our boys some time," and they are not in any contention. I think that night you were doing the show with me and one other lady from Ghana. I've forgotten, and people
Wendy.
were doubting that we have no chance of winning the league this season. But let's not forget that today, if Arsenal is able to at least drop a point, we are much closer going to the top very soon. And I have to tell everybody that the way things are going, it's most likely we're going to win the league. It's too early to predict though, but signs are clear that probably we could just win the league if we do extra hard work and focus on so many games that we've been dropping points. The many games are very important, like those low team out there should be taken care of by our boys, because I don't see why you want to beat Man City or beat Liverpool or beat even Arsenal, then you just drop a point with Leeds United or some of these teams. Those games are very important. And also, I'll just say that most of the Liverpool players, I'm talking about Liverpool situation right now, I think they have to be investigated, or probably Iron Slot have lost the dressing room. The way things are going, it baffles a whole lot of soccer fans, because they were contenders, if I'm not mistaken. At the beginning of this season, a lot of people thought bringing in Ishak and bringing in a whole lot of players, they were going to do very good in this season. But it seems things are not going the way they planned. And I don't know if the players are sabotaging their manager, or it's just that they are not really good, or they've not come together for so long. But the transition shouldn't have been a problem, because at least 30% just joined this season. So it shouldn't be a problem for them to gel. But it seems things are going so bad. And if care is not taken, probably in the next few games, the manager might be sacked. That's how I see it. Whether the players are doing that to get somebody they really feel comfortable around or whatever. Because if you're a football player, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes players can gang up against you, and whatever you do is not going to be successful. So if he's if he's not going to take care of the subsequent games, and he loses like two more games, I really want to believe that he's going to get a boot by the end of this year. By
Don't
December,
worry about
the
Liverpool,
results
Bam.
are
Don't
not
worry about
coming in.
Liverpool. Concentrate on Chelsea. Leave Liverpool alone. Don't worry about them.
If the results are not coming in, they might just sack him. And our game against Barcelona, we have to be very careful. Barcelona hasn't been doing very good, but I think we stand a very great chance of winning against them. Honestly, I was listening to you guys, and you thought Chaloba wasn't perfect for this game. I believe they should pair Chaloba and Amachampon for this particular game. I have
Yep.
so many reasons why I think they might be the perfect, paired or perfect, twins to, you know, take care of the Barcelona attack. Because Badiashile and Fofana, I'm not quite sure, but if you bring a player like Achampon, he's very versatile, he's very good, and Chaloba is also having an experience, having played in previous Champions League and having been there for so long. I think if the two are being paired for Wednesday's game, it will be a perfect, match. So on that note, I think Coachila, I will just, come to the end of my submission. And big ups to
Yeah.
everybody.
Yes,
Big
it's
up,
in
man.
mathematically we're in the title race. And in your opinion, you believe we can win it. Can we win it? I think we can. Will we? I'm not too sure. For reasons I've explained. I'm looking at things from the perspective of where we are at, in terms of the progress we've made. I get it. The two trophies we won last season, for me, they make a huge difference in terms of the mentality of the players, but I think we're not quite there yet. Chances are we'd end up winning it. Never say never. It's still a possibility, especially where we are in the table right now. But yeah,
It's
um,
early though, coach. It's very early.
yeah,
Um,
it's very early
Even
in my
Liverpool, I
opinion.
know you mentioned Liverpool, but it's still early for Liverpool. They can come back and go on a 10-game unbeaten run, and they're back in it. So
Uh,
it's just too early.
Dance, I think you can argue that it's too early, but when it's around November, getting to December, and if you are a big team like that and you are down there, or if you are one of the top four teams and you are up there, the more you do extra work, because the moment we are done with Christmas and we get into the new year, things are going to be different. And if you are down there, you are going to sink. Probably you need to work extra hard. That's why I'm saying that at this point in November, if we are still at second position and we win a couple of games before the end of this year, there is a possibility. At least if you can win against Arsenal both home and away and get some points from Man City and some other, teams, you are going to like win it. But the problem with our boys is they can win some of these big games, and when it matters most, they are going to like mess it up for everyone. So I hope some of those games they can manage it well and at least win it. A game like against Burnley, we were able to like get the 3 points, which obviously was the right thing to do, because you don't want to win some of the important games and you'll be losing some of the normal games. That would then make you a champion. So if they really want to win the league, I will believe that from now going they should at least target Arsenal, because I know Arsenal getting 6 points from Arsenal will be difficult. But if you are able to at least get 4 points from Arsenal, get four from Man City, then win the remaining matches, you're on your way to glory. So I still think that I have the feeling that we're going to, win the league and probably make it to the semi-finals of the Champions League. I'm not going to say we are going to win the Champions League, but we also stand a chance of going far in the Champions
A lot
League.
of games.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right, Dante, anything else you want to say before we call it a day?
No, no, all good. We've covered everything, and yeah, I hope Bam is right. I hope we do win the league. Obviously, we got a chance, but yeah, I'm still more towards next season than this season. But
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully, of course,
I mean,
there
you
is a
never know.
chance we can win it.
Yeah. Bamford, they say relentless is greatness. Thank you for joining us. And the captain of the community, Constantine then too. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us on the panel. And Kenyan Revolutionary, thank you for joining. And Raxi, thank you for joining. Who else was here? We had Wira and Sana Dola. Thank you for joining. Nemaya Fowler, aka Cole Palmer, was here. And everyone, as if I missed your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. No knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stands strong by our side.
Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every foe's estimate, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame with eyes like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise.
Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky. Unity, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, the bright lights up the sky. Keep the good, keep the will that's flying high. Soar through every change, and get what we know. Unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky. Unity we trust. Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side. Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's just to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar through every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky. Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side. Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real does, and then with a love this storm, every phone's just to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like we soar through every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shines, bright lights up the sky. Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. Then if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame with eyes like we soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real of dust, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to bed, and there was a strife. You, my heart, keep the blue flame with eyes like we soar. Through every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge to our voices to the light. We love for the team stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines, bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for real
just, and then with a love this storm. Every phone says to fair, every was a stretch. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soar. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. Chelsea's spirit shine.